course, I had to bring a man who basically moonlights as a skydiver. Of course, when he's not talking athletics, he is talking all about. We need to hear this man. Welcome to Lagos. Welcome to the city of excellence. Welcome to the most populous city in Nigeria and, of course, the most popular city in the continent of Africa. Welcome to the 8th installment of the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. We've been eagerly anticipating its return for the 8th year, and it is growing in leaps and bounds. The weather is absolutely amazing. The runners are all geared up, and of course the route is set. It's still the same route of 42 kilometers of arduous roads before this. Elite runners and of course those who are running for fun and for a cause. Welcome to the most amazing race on the continent of Africa, and of course a key feature on the World Athletics calendar. It's such a delight to come through with the best of the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon, heating up 50,000 all prepared and ready to go, and of course a course record to be broken that has been set since 2020. Not alone on this one, of course, you have to go bring legends into this one. Every year I come through with Narbong, of course, a gold medalist at the Olympics. Narbong, we're all excited as to what to look forward to. I don't know why I keep calling it, it's Udorbong. That's what it is. Again, I get used to the name. But look, what's the excitement like for you? As you can actually feel mine.
Yeah, we are very excited, not just because it's another Access Bank City Marathon, Lagos City Marathon, but because it continues to put Nigeria on the map of world athletics. Over the past 1 year, athletics has taken a different turn in Nigeria. We've had world records, we've had multiple medals with our women, and coming to a horse shows that as the athletes are developing, so are the administrators, making sure that athletics it remains at the top of the minds of everybody in African athletics. Athletics in Nigeria, the top of the mind of everybody.
It is actually top of mind. I agree with you absolutely. We have seen our athletes affair at the Commonwealth Games and, of course, the World Championships from last year, and it seems as though that momentum is just coming through, and we expect that should be the case at this edition of the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. Massive shout out has to go to Lagos State for creating an environment that allows for this to have thrived for the last 8 years.
Yes, it's great, and the influx of number of runners. And the other day, I was just looking at the organizers and the amount of runners coming through, not just in Lagos State, even the Nigerian government. The visa processes for most of these athletes has been seamless. They've been welcomed directly from the airports. They've met smiling faces. And yesterday at the technical meeting, a lot of the athletes were so excited and how the city has become much more friendly to them. And it seems that the people of Lagos are now appreciating the tourism potential of this event. And every year we all look forward to it.
Well, we have eyeballs at the start. We are the finish. This is where we basically welcome all of the elite athletes and those running, everybody gearing up to make it to the end right where we are. But most importantly, this is the first gold label marathon event on the face of this country. I don't know what that means for us, but it's such a big deal. Udomo.
Well, you know, I'm someone very conversant with gold.
Okay, that was a good one there.
So what that's actually...
Just so you know, I got myself a bit of gold right here. You know, just managing that, okay?
You might show that to us. But yes, it's very impressive. Not only is it a gold medal race, it's a gold label race. The speed at which we've attained the gold label status is phenomenal. It's very impressive. Over the course of just 7-8 years, and we've moved from not even being rated at all to going through the ranks and one of the best races. I was talking to the World Athletics representative, the head of road racing, and he said that our race in Nigeria is among the top 20 in the world in prize monies paid. So that's amazing for a country from Africa, from the continent of Africa. So it's really great to have gold medal. And what difference it makes is that the big athletes are now coming here. We're now waking up the potential of the big athletes. So the gold label race attracts gold label athletes.
I hear you clearly on that one. All right, let's take a very, very quick turn to the start where Osereme is standing by to set the scene for what to expect very soon.
From the National Stadium, Surulere, it's the 8th edition of the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. My name is Osereme Inegbenebo, and as you can see, I am at the start point of the marathon. The energy here is just over the roof. The athletes are pumped. The organizers are excited. 2022 was exhilarating, and 2023 promises to be even better. Will we be seeing a record-breaking time at this year's marathon? Well, we'll find out in a couple of minutes.
We'll find out, no doubt. And of course, everybody's got their eyes on that record race, and hopefully that will be smashed this time, especially with the quality of the foreign invited runners that are coming through.
Yeah, like I said earlier, we have gold label runners, and the record of make no mistakes about it, the record of 2 hours, 10 minutes, and 25 seconds, it's an impressive time by any means. But the organizers are keen to have that record broken. The record holder is here. He has promised that he's going to break it up, break the record. And at this point in time, not only are they excited in breaking the record for different reasons, there's also some prize bonus, I think about $10,000 to break the Smith's record. So there's a lot of encouragement, there's a lot of motivation, and at the point, it's also, and I must say, it's also an Olympic qualifier.
Now, last year, the record breaker actually finished second. You know, I mean, when we saw him coming and we looked at the time, I mean, you were here last year, we're like, this was going to happen for 2022, but that didn't happen after this. And if you look at the start list, like I said, he's also part of it. Emmanuel Nabe from Kenya also, who finished third last year, is also here with us. And just look at the quality of what we have going as regards the start of the elite runners. It's absolutely amazing, Inomo.
Yeah, it's great. We just surprised the number of Kenyan runners to Ethiopia. Actually, the Kenyans are actually overshadowing the Ethiopians in the men's race. Because we know that out of the past 7 editions in the men's race, Kenyans have won 5 and Ethiopians have won twice. So it's a bit of a challenge between the Ethiopians and the Kenyans. It's the reverse of the case in the women because the Ethiopians have won 5 and the Kenyans have won 2. So we are trying to see that regional rivalry take place here in the city of Lagos.
It's beautiful. I mean, they seem to take that rivalry everywhere they go to, be it in the international races in the US, wherever it is that's happening, or in Europe. They take that down there. But then it's a question of who wants this the most. Look, the grit, the determination, how everybody is set. And we have a start in Obong. I think it will be exciting to see, but beautiful enough, we have got the man who is on commentary in Obong should be joining him very shortly, Ralph Chidozie George, and I'm sure he's ready to take us through how arduous this race can be.
Thank you very much. Welcome to Lagos. It's Lagos Access Bank Lagos City Marathon actually, and this is they've taken off already, and expect another fantastic race this year. This is the 8th edition of the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. And of course, this year is one that everyone is looking out for to produce a course record that will give us that platinum label that everyone. This is the very first gold labeled race in the country. And of course, it has taken off beautifully. And isn't it too early to begin to grab water and all that? But all the same, you don't want to be dehydrated, you know, from the start of the race, and that's why some of them are collecting waters already. Lagos happening live, taken off at the National Stadium in Surulere, and of course, they will run the 42 kilometers race all the way to the point where we are, the Eco Atlantic. There you have the pacer in front, but just about time to bring on the co-commentator. I've got 2 of them, 2 legends already, but then let me introduce the first one, and the ladies first, they say. Let's just, of course, introduce a lady who goes by OT Active Fitness. That's what you find her bearing on her Instagram page. Commonwealth silver medalist, 2006 Nigeria Athlete of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the microphone, Otonye Iworima.
Thank you, Ralph. Thank you. The race has started, so we're expecting, the weather looks really good, and we're expecting at least to have a course record set. So that's what we're going to expect today. So the race has started.
Most definitely, the pacer right there in front, taking his place. Usually, that's where you have the pacers in front, and so this one has taken his place. But let me introduce the other man, the legend that is also sharing the microphone with me in commentating this race, in running the race with my mouth actually, while the others do it with their feet. I'll be doing it with my mouth, and of course he'll be joining me. I'm talking about 2000 Sydney Olympics gold medalist, and of course he's won several other medals, but that's the biggest you can talk about, Olympic gold medalist. Welcome to the microphone, Enefiok Udobong.
Thank you, Ralph. It's great to be here. It's a happy new year, and we are so happy to have another edition of the Lagos City Marathon.
Quite indeed. It is what it is. The athletes. Can you hear the other commentators? All right, you have the race moving through. Past from the stadium where they took off. You have the elite athletes way in front, and just good enough that this year you have the names of the athletes well displayed on their vests. Interestingly, you have the pacer doing his thing. That pacer I've been talking about. The pacer, of course, is Cheer Bernard. from Kenya.
We have about 3 paces in this race to take us to different levels of the race, and I think Bernard will take us the longest, so 35 kilometers. The purpose of these paces are to get a steady pace in which they can run, because they're all gunning for the record, like you said earlier on, Ralph. So these are some of the important things that we have to understand in the race, Atonya.
Okay, as we see, we know that now we are a gold label race, so they have to maintain a certain pace in order to do 2 hours 10, below 2 hours 10. So as we can see, we have Emmanuel Nubai, we have David Bamasai there. David Bamasai is the course record holder, 2020. He was also second last year, so I spoke with him yesterday, so he's here to try and set another course record, so we're good.
That's what everyone is looking out for. The course record, of course, he said in 2020, 2 hours, 11 minutes and 58 seconds as a course record for the men. And of course, the women's course record here in Lagos is held by Dagne Siranesh Yirga of Ethiopia in 2 hours, 33 minutes and 54 seconds. All eyes on the course records, because we're watching out. This is the gold medal, gold label race, and everyone is just looking out for that course record to be brought down, broken. And who else, if you have the man that set that course record with that blistering race in 2020, and of course, Cherub, that's the lady that set her own record. Cherub Sharon Jemutai, of course, she set that record at 2 hours, 31 minutes and 40 seconds. And of course, you have Bamasai, who set the course record, of course, in 2020, 2 hours, 13 minutes, and that's not correct, by the way.
2 hours,
Ufata Derenesh, Deresa, Deleta did 2 hours, 11 minutes and 58 seconds, but that course was broken in 2020 by Bamasai.
Well, Ralph, we have to just understand as we watch these athletes run through, is that the men and women who start this race are doing more than just run a race. They are pushing their bodies to the limits of human endurance. And it's a testimony to their superhuman efforts to overcome these elements. There are lots of elements that they have to overcome, as you can see, the humidity, the weather, the training, all environmental obstacles. But in reality, it's more than just that. And when we sit down and watch a race like a marathon race, we know that it's more than just that. In a world where we battle a lot of oppression and inequality, hunger, poverty, climate change, these young men and women are showcasing the power of the human spirit, and the limit in which we can push our bodies and which we can endure and absorb all these things. So wherever they're coming from or wherever you're watching from, when you see the young men take up a course of a marathon race, just know that it's more than just a physical endurance that they're going through. They're going through a lot of things, and this is an encouragement for people around that when you take up running, you take up a lifestyle, you take up something challenging and something enduring, and nothing exemplifies that like a marathon race.
What a person to tell you all about races than Enefiok Udobong, giving it as it is at the moment. The endurance that goes with the races, of course, he knows everything about it, the way he endured in 2020 to push forward, push Nigeria to the gold medal at that Sydney Olympics. But everything is put in place. The major thing he talked about is running your race the way you want to do it. And it's been fantastic so far for these athletes that have come from different countries to be part of the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon, the 8th edition.
Yes, Ralph. We can say that there are certain factors that come into play when an athlete needs to break a course record. You know, things like the weather comes into play, things like the mindset comes into play, things like the kind of shoe they're wearing comes into play, and also pacer comes into play. I remember when Eliud Kipchoge broke the world record, or when he ran the fastest time, that was the under 1 hour, under 2 hours in Berlin. He had 42 pacers. He had 42 pacers. He had one of the best types of shoes, and he had the right mindset, and he ran under 2 hours. So a lot goes into that. So the mindset of the athlete also goes into play. So as we are watching, we see even the Nigerian athletes in that group in front running. And we know that in recent times that the Nigerian runners have been improving their times over the course of the 8 editions that we've had for the marathon. So this year we're also expecting the Nigerian runners to best their own times.
Well, that's very right. We're talking about Nigerian runners. Are we expecting more from them? They try to keep up with the pace. I know it's encouraging to try and be surrounded by elite runners, and you say, look, let's can't keep up. How far do you think that our best of Nigerian athletes can go up with the pace of the Kenyans and the Ethiopians?
I will say it's very good. Remember, most of our runners, the runners that win, they come from the Bauchi region, and that region has a very good weather, almost similar to those that they have in Kenya. And like I said, the Nigerian runners, over the course of the 8 years we've been hosting this marathon, have been improving. People have noticed their time have been improving. So, and we also know that there's the incentive of the prize also. So that's, all those factors will come into play to help our Nigerian runners best their own time.
Well, the Nigerian runners here have to best their own time. They have their own ambitions, and sometimes they may even hope that one of their ambitions is to beat the Kenyans. I don't know if Ralph can forecast any kind of prediction that the Nigerian runner is winning this race today.
It's near impossibility for a Nigerian to win it at this point. You know, one thing I've looked at over the years is the growth. We grow in one year, we think we're growing in 1 year, and the other year, you don't find that growth at all. So there's been no growth, you know, in terms of, there's been no improvement again. The way the Nigerian athletes, marathoners have been going.
I think Otoye seems to disagree with you.
I would disagree with you, because if you look at the time, for the course of the 8 years we've been hosting this marathon, the Nigerian runners have been improving their time. Yes, we need to invest more in the Nigerian athletes. Like I said, we have a region in Jos, in the Plateau region, that we can actually have a training center for the marathon runners, or we can collaborate with Kenya or the Ethiopians. But Nigerian, the incentive is there, and the Nigerian runners, you know, Nigerians, we are go-getters, so that incentive there, they will improve.
Oh yeah, they will improve, Otoye says, and we need to get the experience from the Ethiopians and the Kenyans. As they cross the 10 minutes mark, it's Naibe and Munga. The Kenyans are still bundled up together and trying to keep pace with the pacer. The pacers have targets, and to break this course record, we have to keep an eye on the time, because at the half marathon stage, they need to have done 63 minutes. That's an hour and 3 minutes. There's something very peculiar about the Lagos Marathon course, is that the Lagos Marathon course, it's a level marathon course. It's almost a leveler. And that's it, that it's not so hilly, and there's not so much hills and valleys and everything. So it's very possible in running 10s to have a negative split. And a negative split is when the first half of the race is slower than the second half. That the second half is faster than the first half, which almost never happens in an athletics race. But the marathon course in Lagos is so unique that there is actually a chance that we can have a negative split. And if we have a negative split, we just have to look at 2 minutes, 1 hour, 3 minutes, 1 hour, 4 minutes at the halfway stage to break this course record.
And the race is building up gradually. In Ethiopia, we don't have hills here. We have bridges and all that to climb. Beautiful topography, if I would put it that way, in Lagos. Not the same we have in different other countries, but it's fantastic here. There they are, the pacer in front. Of course, Checher Bernard, his own personal best in marathon itself was 2 hours, 29 minutes and 53 seconds. That he did and at the Rhodes marathon in Greece.
Well, he's a very useful runner, but he's more of a track runner, because he's run the 3,000 meters, he's run the 5,000 meters, he's run the 10,000 meters on the track too. But he's gone into a lot of road racing. He doesn't do much of marathon, and no wonder we're giving him just 35 kilometers to run. But he's a useful runner, as we can see through the men running through the city of Lagos. Of course, for those of us, the Nigerians are very well aware of the beautiful topography we can see in Lagos, which we call the Four Qs. I think it's building up. It's one of our tourist attractions here in Lagos at this point of the year.
I just laughed. I laugh about that. That's funny, but that's what it is. Not much, not something to laugh about anyway. But then that's what we have.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Also, I would like to point out that if you watch the Kenyans or the Ethiopians run, it's almost like those runners in front is almost like a choreographed running. If you see the way they run, they do that. It's like they have a pattern, they have a style, choreographed running. Those that want to stay in front, those that, because there are certain runners that like to run in front, and there are certain runners that like to stay back and like follow somebody else. So it's almost choreographed to see it. It's almost beautiful to watch, like a dance.
Where the leading pack we have in front, and we'll see how what Tony just said will pan out as the race progresses. But here you have Kimayo, running alongside the pacer there, Kimayo, Shadrach Kiptu Kimayo, the Kenyan, 30 years of age, and of course with his personal best in marathon of 2 hours, 12 minutes and 52 seconds. He ran in Nairobi Standard Chartered in 2017. And if he keeps the way he's going, then we might have something. Where is Bamasai, by the way?
Well, as you can see, the pacer having some communication with the running pack. He wants to make sure that he's on pace. It will not be very good to run out too much. He must be running with them. And because they need a fast time, we expect a very, very fast race. And maybe, like we have been saying earlier, we're looking at the course record on the line. 2 hours, 10 minutes is the target. This is a feature gold label race for the World Athletics. And wherever you are, from Cairo to Cape Town, from Zaria to Zanzibar, Abuja to Addis Ababa, from Kampala to Kumasi, this is the growing race that's making the whole of Africa proud. Everywhere we are watching it live on Super Sports, and we expect to have a beautiful race. We expect to have a great race. And as the men are showing us, it's a quarter of an hour gone, and we can still see the bunch of athletes together. It shows that little or no energy has been expended at this time for the Kenyans.
They're just taking it slow and steady at the moment.
Yes, Rafi, you were asking of David Bamasai. Remember last year he tried to break the course record, so he really went out fast, but at about 30 kilometers he kind of started lagging behind and the other runner overtook him. So I guess probably this year he has a different strategy from what he did last year. So maybe he won't come up front this time around.
What he did in 2020.
In 2020, yes, he broke the course. And the main factor there was the weather. If you remember, the Harmattan season had really set in that day, and the weather was really cool. Even when we started, I told you that this is a record-breaking weather. So both the men and the women broke the course record that year. So weather is very important.
Yeah, and Luki, you have said with Bamasai, he's a very experienced runner on Lagos City Access Marathon because he knows the course very well. He's won it. He has the course record. He tried last year. He got some experience that, look, maybe that tactics he did of 2020 was not too good. So I believe he's come with a different strategy now. He's promised that he's going to break the course record. And he's the one we are looking out for. He's not going to be in the leading pack. Like we always say, this is a marathon, not a sprint. So I believe he's judging his paces right. And as long as the pacers keep... we're supposed to have 3 pacers. And I think there's some other pacers within the park that are going to allow this pacer to take place because pacing takes a lot from you. It takes a lot from you. So some pacer might pace a pacer. And then at a point in time, the second pacer will take over and take over the race. And like we say, we have about 2 or 3 pacers. The law allows for a maximum of 3 pacers. So we expect that the pacers will take us the race to 35 kilometers. And then the remaining 7 kilometers, I think that's where we start seeing the exchanges of if it's going to be Bamasai or it's going to be Sang or it's going to be anybody else.
And if you're looking for the man, that's the man in blue, in the blue vest, David Bamasai. In 2020, set that course record of 2 hours, 10 minutes and 23 seconds. And it was a really, really a race he ran in that year. Bring forward a 2022, and everyone was expecting him to do the same, and he didn't. He finished second last time out, and here he is again, and we're expecting so much from him this time. This is a lady that has taken the race by the scruff of the neck. Then we'll see how far she can go.
Yes. Now we're seeing the ladies race. As we know, they usually stay behind the men. So we will see how their pace is going. As we said, the weather is really good. And we're back to the men and back to David Bamasai. We know he has a very lovely portfolio. He was 4th at the World Championship in Daegu. He's also 8th at the Boston Marathon in 2012. So that is a very serious CV.
Very serious CV indeed. And you talked about his best race was in Dubai, of course, when he ran that beautiful two race. And in Dubai, that's where he has his personal best of 2 hours, 7 minutes and 18 seconds.
When you see runners in the marathon like this, and you want to talk about the impact on the health of the society and the health of the community, I mean, it's very rare in athletics competition that you see somebody running personal best or breaking course records at the age of 36. And David broke his record. I think he's 36 years old now. So we're getting people that are closer to 40 years old still running in elite level. So how do you think that this marathon is? Normally, you talk about athletics, we're talking about 23 years old, 24, maybe at the peak of 25. But how does the marathon change this mindset thinking? That's why you do a lot of running. How do you think running helps in the health of the individual?
Like we said, when it comes to running, one of the factors that help you achieve your goal is the mindset, the right mindset. Because we see people run. If you look at the front runners, not just in this marathon, but in other marathon, you see people that are older. If you see the average age actually of a marathoner is 40. They did a research. The average age of a marathoner is 40, and the average age of the fast marathoner is between 30 and 50.
Oh, that's good. So that means Ralph should take up running now. It's not
Yes,
too late.
Ralph,
He
you
shouldn't be.
really should.
Come on, Ralph. You can do it.
We also have Emmanuel Nibai. He is 39. He won this Access Bank Marathon in 2021.
Oh, really?
Yes,
really?
he's 39.
So that's
And
encouraging. Ralph, it's really some encouragement for you.
I would think about that, and then of course I've been doing lots of road walks these days, so I might just make it road running, and I'll see how it goes. We also have a Kipwat Stephen Kipkoech, who's 43.
Okay.
This race, so
that's incredible.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think we will allow you to run because we'll miss you here at the commentary box if you start participating in this race. But really,
what are we doing here? We're running the race with our mouth.
yeah, running commentary. I get the pun, Ralph.
And we can't talk about age without mentioning the world record holder. Kipchoge is 37. I think he will be 38 this year. And he even has plans of going to Boston Marathon this year to try and even set another record. And we know in the Boston Marathon they don't use pacers. So that is going to be mind work.
So what do you think? Like, if you come to me and you say, if you're running the 400 meters or you're running the 100 meters, at what age do you peak? I'll tell you 25, 26. So in the marathon, at what age do you peak? Is it like old wine, you get better with age?
I think if you have good support, the training, and you know how to pace yourself, you don't run every race. You see, if you look like Kipchoge and keep biting my mouth, yes, they plan his race. He doesn't run every race. They have a lot of platinum races. You don't see him there. Most of those top runners, they don't even meet in marathons because they plan their races. You plan because your rest is also important for continuity, for you to heal. So you plan your race so that you don't burn out quickly. That way you have longevity.
Oh, that's very true. I know that it's recommended that you don't run more than 3 marathons in a year. You have about 3 months of rest between one and the other marathon. But Ralph, do you see, look as they go through, the leading pack is still about 10 athletes, and we're seeing that they are picking up pace now.
Yeah, surely pick it up pace, and at different points we will have to see how some of them will be separated from the others when the race gets stiffer. But I enjoyed seeing Bamasai and Kiprotich sharing that kind of water.
They seem to have a lot of cooperation, and as we can go now, for those of them that are touring Lagos, this is they have reached the Bagada area. I'm going down through, and we expect them in a few minutes to move on to the 3rd mainland bridge, and that's where we start getting to the 10 to 15 kilometer mark, and we start seeing that the heat will start, the race will start telling on some of the people, and we start seeing the separation from the boys to the men. The 3rd mainland bridge is it's a 10-kilometer stretch, and that can be really, really very tasking. It's really, really, really tasking on the athletes. How hard is it? How difficult is it to run that stretch on a bridge?
It's really hard because it's like just a stretch with nothing but water on both sides. So that is really where it will test how strong your mindset is. But we should also mention, we know that there are water points at every 2.5 kilometer because of the humidity. We have like a 71% humidity. So there is water points at every 2.5 kilometer. We have refreshment points at every 5 kilometers. We even have toilets at every 5 kilometers. So
I remember vividly it was on Third Mainland Bridge in 2020 that Bamasai broke off from the rest of the leading pack, and of course ran his race all through till the end.
You know, the Third Mainland Bridge, like Otoyo says, is long stretch of about 10 to 15 kilometers, and really is the longest bridge in West Africa. And so when you just go on a straight level road, on your left is just the Atlantic Ocean, on your right the Atlantic Ocean. It can really be telling on the mindset. And if you don't have if you're not mentally very strong, you really cannot tackle the dragon of the Third Mainland Bridge.
And if you have the fear of water, that's a different ball game entirely. But the race is moving on smoothly. For this ones, they are really far behind, but really chasing. But it's good that we have the only girl in the picture still running her race and trying to keep up with her pace too. That's what it should be. That's what it is at the moment. Really back to the chase, to the leading pack where we have Kimayo. Kimayo is 30 years of age. The Kenyan running really well alongside the pacer. And at a point, we'll have to see the pacer will leave at a point when it gets to that point of taking a walk in and allow the athletes to do the real running for the prize.
Well, it's very impressive, as we say, and very, very competitive still. I think this is a leading female runner still on the way. The leading female runner coming through. We're watching her as she gets through the Bagada area. She's quite impressive as she goes in stride for stride and pushing up she's really stretching the women going through. We try to identify her. She seems to be a Nigerian athlete, and if she is a Nigerian athlete, that's really impressive. It's really impressive for the Nigerian runners.
yes,
Surely
and
we'll
we
try
also
to identify her.
Also know female athletes sometimes because they are in the back. They tend to use some of the male runners in the back to pace them also. It's kind of a good strategy to kind of use those runners behind you to pace yourself as a female athlete. So I believe that's what she's doing, which is a good strategy for her, and I hope it works out for her.
Well, it's a very competitive race, and you see we have prize money for about 8 athletes in elite scene.
We have prize for the first 10.
For the first 10, and we have about 14, 15 elite athletes. So a lot of them will come to Lagos as tourists, and will go back with no prize money. So how competitive does that make it there?
Very, very competitive indeed, because the Lagos, this is a gold medal gold label race, and gold medal race attracts the big athletes, the big marathoners to come to Nigeria, and that's why this year you have a lot of entries, including clubs from different parts of the world, and really impressive because it's a gold medal. And imagine what will happen when that platinum label is gotten. And of course, Lagos simply joins other gold label races for the year 2023, like Osaka Marathon, Tokyo Marathon, the Zurich Marathon, Barcelona Marathon, Hanover Marathon, and of course the Oostende Marathon in Netherlands, also Vienna Marathon. And
the Belfast Marathon, that's all gold. You see, so we're in very good company there, very, very good major cities across the world. And then in a very short time, we're sure we'll join the London, the Berlins, the New York to be platinum.
Yes, we will. And we should remember, as a gold label race, you know, the standard is now high. Things like security, the beeps. If you notice, the athletes are wearing beeps back and front to make sure the time is captured, because you can use this rate to qualify for the 2024 Olympics. You can use it to qualify for the World Championship this year. So the criteria is very stringent. There are also spy cameras to make sure it's a fair race. So as a gold label, we have a lot of, the road blockage is blocked for 6 hours, so people don't go there. We have even concrete blockage as opposed to the metal barriers we had in some places to make sure there is no disruption, that people don't disrupt the athletes running. So as a gold label race, yes, it's really high, and we have a lot. Because even the athletes are categorized in different labels. You have platinum athletes, you have gold label athletes. So they have to bring gold label athletes to come and run in this race. So, and then we have to run under 2 hours 9 minutes. Not 2
Well,
hours,
like
right?
Otonya said, there are different criteria for having a gold label, which we must meet, and which the city of Lagos, led by His Excellency the Governor Sanwo-Olu, has been meeting and has been supporting this, and also Access Bank, the major sponsors, and so everything has been given to the athletes. So the only thing that we need to meet, and the last point I was here we're trying to make, is the timing. So the athletes need to, they need a sub 2 hours 10. So we are hoping if this bunch are still together at the second half of the race, then we might see a course record broken, because you need competition. We need competition, and as long as they're together, as long as we still have a competitive bunch of about 5 to 8 athletes together, then when we come to the very, very gruesome end of the race, we're going to be hoping that we'll see a new course record. Like I said, we keep an eye on the time. At 1 hour 3 minutes, we expect to have crossed the 21-kilometer mark. If we do that 1 hour 3, 1 hour 4 minutes, then we're on course.
To whom much is given, much is expected. So the athletes, the onus on them to give Lagos that new course record of below 2 hours 10. And so if we have athletes in both male and female doing well in cutting down with the course records, and that platinum label that Lagos is seeking for, we might just get it. And so at this point, they still have all the top athletes, the leading pack is still all running same. Kimayo alongside the Pesa. That's the way it's been for quite some time. And of course, we're expecting somebody to break off at a point. We'll be looking out for that.
Yes, you did say to whom much is given, much is expected. I would change it, because Chief Bukola Olokpade, the CEO of Nilayo Sports that is organizing this race, he actually says to whom much is given, much is required. Yes, because here there are more incentives. If you break the course record, there's $10,000 bonus. If you break last year's record, there's an additional 1,000. And I remember I was sitting with them in the technical meeting, and I saw they were motivated. They told them the bonuses, and so on. I told them that you would also help this label race. If you break the course record, not only that, of course, it will give you more visibility, which will make you more marketable. So there are a lot of incentive for athletes.
Yes, talking about records, let's just take a moment to look at how well Nigeria has gone along the way. Obviously, our national record in the marathon is 2 hours, 16 minutes and 6 seconds by Abbas Mohammed in Lagos in 1996. So far we have people that have been running. The fastest Nigerian in the Access City Marathon was in 2020, which Emmanuel Gyong. And as Otonya put rightly, that year we had a very good weather. And we've had 3, Ilya Palm has been an impressive runner. He's won it 3 times for the Nigeria. So we'll just have a moment to try and see how well the Nigerians are doing comparatively to their international counterparts.
Yes. They're, like I said, it's always a motivation to run. As an athlete, if you've ever been a professional athlete, if you go for competition, compete with people that are better than you, it motivates you to want to do better. And as we can see now, even in the course, I think it's even raining at some point, so the weather is going to be cooler, so it would actually help in their time. So we're really hoping that they take advantage of that and try and break the course record.
Well, the gods of thunder is smiling on them as they enter the third mainland bridge. That should be actually the best thing that could happen at this part, because the rain is coming not just at the right time, not at the start of the race, but just when the heat and humidity is taking toll on your body, then you have that refreshing rain and smell that comes down. Ralph, how do you think this is going to affect them?
Well, like Otoya did say, this is good for the runners, but sometimes some athletes do not like to run in the rain too. So what is good for one is not too good for the other.
Yes, Ralph, but I could see it's not like pouring down. It's more like a shower, which is really, really good. So it's not really going to affect you too much. It's not going to like make your shoes heavy and all that stuff. So I believe that this is good. It actually looks refreshing. So I believe that they will actually try to keep up with the pace. The pacer is really doing well. Like we said, we have several pacers. I believe one of the pacers will also run with the women to actually help them improve their time. So I believe they are keeping in pace.
So we have the leading pack still there. No one has taken the race by the scruff of the neck by trying to break off from. But at a point, we'll surely see there are two Naibes here in this race. One is Emmanuel Naibe, and the other one is, of course, let me get his name now. Is Samuel Kiplimo Naibe. So you have one with Naibe and the other bearing Emmanuel. Both of them have their surnames as Naibe. And Kimayo is still keeping the pace with the pacer himself.
Yes, like Rob, like I mentioned before, when it comes to marathon, if you look at the research, the average marathoner is like 40 years. The fastest age group is between 30 and 50. And the slowest is from 70 upwards. So really, my father can still run a marathon.
But not competing.
He can compete. Maybe he'll be slow because he will be in the slow age category, but he can still run.
There's no
because the oldest person to run was 100 years.
Otoye, are you trying to encourage Ralph to get into marathon? I don't think he's looking very interested in that.
No, nobody has an excuse if the oldest person that finished a 42-kilometer marathon was 100 years.
Okay, but Ralph's excuse that he's on commentary duty.
And if you're making me look older than my age at this point.
So back to the race, we are seeing the athletes still moving in, and the leading bundle is we still have about 9-10 athletes together. The correct rhythm, keeping one of the most important things in running is getting a rhythm and keeping to that. We can see Bamasai having a discussion with the others. You see, it amuses me in marathon races because when you have the discussion, how do you want to run and everything, I just do not know. I don't see that. I mean, I can't go on the 400-meter race and look at lane 2 and lane 6 and say, look, how are we going to run the 400 meters? Are we going to share the prize money? I don't know if they have any kind of cooperation in the sharing of the $50,000 booty.
Only experienced athletes do this kind of discussion. Sometimes I want to pick up a discussion with an athlete running neck and neck with you, and no answer is coming because he thinks that's a strategy for you to slow him down. But all the same, Bamasai is so experienced. This is a man that is making his debut in Lagos. In the Lagos Access Bank Marathon.
We have to add the lady Nigerian girl. I think it's it looked like Deborah Pam. She's been a winner of this race before. She's won in 2019 and 2020, and in 2022 she was second. In 2022 she wasn't on the podium, but she seems to be taking it all hard as in front, and it has always been a fight between her and Fadakemi as a leading Nigerian lady.
All right, we'll be looking out to watching out for the elite women athletes too, to find out where they are. But at this moment, still the men are doing their thing. Kimayo, his first time in Lagos, running the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. But he's not in any way looking back at all. He wants to win this race, and that's why he has kept it with the pacer all along. You have Kiprotich to the left here, Bama side there, Kimayo right there. We have Kibet on the right-hand side too.
As we can see, they climbed the dreaded bridge, and at this point in time, we expect to see some kind of separation over the next 3-4 kilometers. And at the point this is about the 12 kilometer mark, and the time they should be closer to the 15 kilometer mark, closer to the 15 kilometers, judging from the time they have run. And this is actually the pacer trying to encourage them that, look, we need to keep it together, guys. We need to keep it together.
Only the bridge is service. How many kilometers?
The bridge is 12 kilometers.
12 kilometers, and so by the time they finish that, we'll be really counting down to who's going to take this one.
I believe last year at this point we had Bamasai almost running on his own. So I believe this year his strategy has changed. I think he now wants to have a pack with him. It will help your mindset, not just going alone. So this year it looks like his strategy has changed a little bit. Last year about this point he was almost on his own at this point.
Not quite at this point. It was a little bit further when it broke up on the bridges.
Yeah. But we have to notice while he was on his own, like Otoye says, towards further down on the bridge. But this year we have more quality of runners.
So he's not going to expect to just blow the field away. I mean, it's a gold label race, and we have gold label runners there. So nobody's going to give him the win or the opportunity just to do that to them.
No.
Exactly. There you have it, Naibe Samuel Kiplimo Naibe, 30 years of age. And you have Emmanuel Naibe too, who is the Kenyan, who of course has been in Lagos almost. He was here in 2021 and 2022, and on both occasions he won in 2021, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, that is Deborah again. We are looking at this at this point in time. She's done very well over the course. She's won this event, like I said, twice before, in 2019 and 2020. She trains with Emmanuel Geong, who also is a Nigerian winner too. She's from the Plateau region. She's been running track, and she's been running track from anything from 5,000 to the marathon.
Like we talk about the Plateau region, like I was saying, because most of the runners that win come from the Plateau region. It's almost of a similar climate to Inten that has in Kenya, that has a very strong training camps for athletes. A lot of them train, a lot of the Kenyans train in Inten. So it almost has a similar weather. So if you actually look at the Nigerian list, winners, men and women, they almost all of them come from that region. So that is a place for Nigerians to focus on, to put their eye on. If we're going to train our athletes, if we're going to have training camp, that is the region to put our eye on.
And that region actually included not just the Jos Plateau, also included Adamawa, Taraba, and all that. That's the region.
Yeah, actually, Taraba has one of the highest, in the Gembul Highlands, have one of the highest altitude in the country. What we've seen, I'm seeing an athlete, Ben Aksang, in the leading back, and he seems to obviously know what he's doing and running there behind there, and he's been looking at the pacing, looking at the timing, looking at everything that they are meeting it. And we must know that at this point in time as they run, they have targets, and the sponsors have put milestones every 5 kilometers. They have seen large signs that how many kilometers go. So they have information at their fingertips as they are going. Probably they look at their timing to see. There is also a vehicle with the electronic timer showing them how fast they're going. So I think every like Otoya says, everything is given to them. So a lot is instead not expected, a lot is required from them to break this course record.
That's the man you talked about, Sang there. Of course, he was here in 2020 and finished 9th. And his personal best is 2 hours, 10 minutes and 59 seconds that he ran in Enkole Marathon in Istanbul. That's Sang we're talking about. But now you notice that they are putting up some kind of a single file at the moment.
Yes,
that's
what
the race is changing.
And once it goes into single file, you know that the pace has started to tell. And that's the time you start knowing a fast race from a slow race, because when they're still together, bunch up, you know that they're more comfortable. But once it goes into that single file, then the races begin.
Also, I would like to note, because I do some running, some marathon running, one of the strangest things I noticed when running is that if you're running uphill, you actually have to run faster because of the resistance. That is actually a running strategy. You have to run faster when you're running uphill. If not, you will cut out your time. Then you can actually take it easier when you're going downhill. So if you ever notice them trying to run faster, usually on a slope.
Yeah, that's a technical idea from Otoya running there. But we should know that they're on the bridge now. So it's a level road. It's a level ground. So they can see before them the miles and miles of coal tar and miles of water. It's at this point that mentally they have to be strong.
Mentally you have to be strong. And of course these ones are mentally strong, I must say, because they run races across different parts of the world. Yeah. This man, the camera has been on him, Sang, but that was to talk about Bamasai. It's been really, really good. He loves Lagos.
Yeah, he does. He does love Lagos, as we all love Lagos, and so does this young lady. She loves Lagos. She loves the Access Bank City Marathon. She's coming from some 7 hours away and 700 kilometers away from Jos, and she loves Lagos. You can see that she's on the bridge too. So she's actually running. She's quite impressive if she keeps this up, because if at this rate, she probably will make a course record in her own, whether for the Nigerian athlete or for her own personal best.
Yeah, so she can actually make the top 10 on the elite side and still make the Nigerian side, so she could get prize money from the Nigerian winnings and also from the elite winnings, which has been done before 3 years ago. So that's actually a good incentive for her.
It just looks like these ones have had enough of the pacer. They've had enough of the pacer, and of course they've broken off from the pacer, and of course really moving as fast as they could at this moment. The pacer is behind, and soon he will drop off the race. He haven't done his job very well. Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. Okay, so just joining us is the 8th edition of the marathon, the very first ever gold label race in Nigeria. And of course, these athletes are really bending the roots. Well, that was the other pacer we saw the other time behind. But this pacer, Chachir, is still in front. And of course, Bamasai. Kibet won't accept anything from Bamasai.
Now, I think we are looking at where our medals are going to be shared. But I think it's going to be Bamasai. They're trying to keep Bamasai on the move. Tibet and Sanga put him together, and they're walking towards run. And at this point, you can see that there's a strategy now. This is the strategy of the race.
And great strategy too. Bamasai might soon a quick look back at Sang, where Sang is. Not quite by his shoulder, but very closely behind. Bamasai might just want to break off at any point in time, the way we're looking at him. But this is the lady that is really, really leading in that women's race at the moment.
Deborah Palmer has taken it upon herself to run a race of her own. And so far we've seen her, at least from the commentary position, as if she's the only woman on the race. But so far she is quite impressive in her race, and within this she could even shatter the Nigerian course record on this, because last year we had 3 hours for the Nigerian lady, but we've had a best of 2 hours 45 minutes. So it's impressive that even with the elite athletes, Palm has been in front of them.
Back to the elite athletes now. The pacer is still there. Pacer Chechir doing his thing. Bamasai closely behind. Sang following. And of course, Kibet not too far away behind. But the race is being defined a little bit at the moment.
Yes, and like Motonya said earlier on, I think at this point in time, this must be around the point Bamasai broke through, and he probably has should I say, the formula for the Lagos City Access Marathon, and he knows when to break through.
Yes, like we said, when you have a pacer like this, you know that this is a planned race. You don't just come here and run because you want to break the record. You plan your race. They have a technical meeting, they plan the race, so you can see sometimes the pacer is indicating, okay, you guys are slowing down, let's pick up to this is the pace you're supposed to follow, let's pick it up. That is what the pacer is there for, to take some of the mental load away from the athlete, so they don't have to be thinking, okay, am I running this fast? So they keep that pace for you, so you don't have to think about it, you just follow them. That is what their main job is there for. And so far, so good, the pacers are doing their job.
Quite technical too. Here is another lady, of course, another Nigerian lady. We'll find out the name any moment, and of course I tell you she's very far behind the leading lady at the moment, but then she's also doing very well on the bridge. We talked about the technicalities that comes into the race. That's why Nori Williamson, the World Athletes Technical Committee member, did say that Access Bank Lagos City Marathon is a treasure to the athletes' world. He said that the race has lived up to its billing, its status as gold label because of its richness, because of its richness and technical capabilities.
Speaking of Nori, you know that Nori is like the world's best measurer, and as a gold label race, you need to have a world best measurer measure your race to certify that race as a gold label. So we are grateful for Nori and what he has done, what he has come to do, and also the technicalities of this race. He's actually following the athletes, and as we can see, their pace is going. But going back to the female athletes, I'm wondering how smart is it for the female? As you know, you need to run in a group so that it will help you. As we can see, Deborah Palm is on her own. So she really has to work. Nobody is pacing her, so she's got a lot of mindset work to do, especially as she's running over the third mainland bridge.
Well, you are not seeing the other women now at the moment because Palm have really opened up that gap, and so you get to see them at some point. But this lady is running the race of her life.
No, she really looks motivated, and if you look at the prize money, I would be motivated too. I really want to drop this mic and go run.
You can still do it. When I see the way your trainings, the posts on Instagram and all that, I don't want to train that way, honestly, because it's really tough. You're doing something different. A little wonder is OT active.
OT active.
Great.
At this rate, we are going to miss OT at the commentary box, which you might. If Pam does win the $50,000, I think Otoya will be more motivated to
join the race.
That is true. That is true. I've been challenged to actually, because I've never done a full marathon before, so I was challenged this year that why am I not doing a full? I should drop the mic and go and do a full marathon. So
don't worry.
Let's see.
We'll be here, chanting for you and urging you, go OT, go OT.
The motivation is there, so
sure.
Maybe I should.
Let's get back to the race now. Still on the bridge. It's a 15 kilometers bridge.
As you can see, one of the athletes has lost his beep. You see, that's why we have two beeps. These are the things, because if he loses all his beeps, you cannot track his number. You cannot track his progress. So that's why for a gold label race, you need to have two beeps. So if you lose one, we can still track your running with the other beep.
Exactly. So at this point, we have two that have lost their front shirt name tag at the moment, but we'll keep trying to see what we can do to really identify them. It's still Bamasai running alongside the pacer, Sang behind, and of course Kibet not far off, taking a quick look at his wristwatch.
Yes, and what we cannot really appreciate watching from TV is how fast these athletes are going. Those of us that do some kind of road running, you'll know that if you go at 5 kilometers, 5 minutes per kilometer, you are running really fast. But these athletes are going at an average of 2.5 minutes per kilometer. 2.5 minutes per kilometer. That's amazingly fast. You're talking about 25 kilometers an hour or thereabout. I mean, if you're driving a car, you know how you can go that fast at an average speed.
As you can see where they are, still on the third mainline bridge, we're done up 52 minutes and 11 seconds, unofficial timing as it were, but it's still a good one. Bamasai, it was almost at this point last 2020 that he said, I've had enough of the pacer, and of course broke off, and they were chasing him like someone that stole something at the market square.
And unfortunately, it's like they caught him from stealing something at the market square, because last year he was caught at the last 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers. But 2 years ago he did it successfully, and he seems to be ready to do it again this year. So we are impressed so far with the way he's kept with the Pacers, and we hope that the Pacers have the endurance to stick with him.
In 2020, doing 2 hours, 10 seconds and 10 minutes and 23 seconds in 2020 to come in second in 2022, doing 2 hours, 13 minutes and 37 seconds.
Well, Otoya talked at the beginning about some elements. You have to look at the elements. We do not know. The weather was very good in 2020. Last time, the other elements, and we also said that for a bad race plan, he probably took off too early.
And then, he took off and he left the Pacers, so he was on his own. So he probably didn't pace himself too well. He was probably running faster than he should have. So he kind of hit half the wall, like I would say, at the 10 kilometers to go. So I believe he has planned his race very well this year.
And now this is Deborah Palm. Well, no, this is not Deborah Palm. She's slightly in front of this Nigerian man running there, taking Yeah, but this is Deborah Palm here. She's a leading lady marathon, and now we can start getting excited about her, because if she keeps this up, she will be the first Nigerian winner. And if this is Deborah herself, then she will go home with a $50,000 purse. That's how encouraging is that for the Nigerian runners?
Oh, not just the 50,000. That's 15,000 in the elite side. Then she will go home with the 3 million on the Nigerian side also.
And if she breaks a course record,
she will go home
with an
with
additional
$10,000.
I think she'll be due for retirement after this.
No, why would you stop when the going is good? If she wins this, then her training will now escalate. She will now have probably enough money to go and train.
Elite runners, and this is Sang, and still trying to keep up with Bamasai. Bamasai in front, probably I think if the pacer is still with him, the pacer is supposed to take him to 35 kilometers, so we expect that he should still have a pacer, or he has decided to go on his own at this point in time. He probably feels the pace was too slow for him, and he has this very unique way of running, and he tries to go for the negative speed at all times. We've gone almost a kilometer, and we are looking, like keep an eye on the clock.
Yeah.
1 hour 3 minutes. 1 hour 3 minutes at the 21 kilometer mark. That is when we are sure that we are going for a course record.
That's where we're sure we're going for a course record. Keep to it and keep watching out. And this is the Nigerian lady that is still on her own, overtaking Palm now.
Yeah, now I think that Palm has now started, the fatigue has started tearing on her. It looks to me like Father Kemi, but I'm not too sure at the point in time, because we know that Palm and Father Kemi have always been tussling out in the Nigerian scene. But it looks like another Nigerian runner trying to make history here.
Like we said, the motivation is really high, but it's still early days, so you never know.
Bamasai, sorry, Otonye. Bamasai has gone back to his playbook, and this is what he does every time, every year. He did it in 2020, did it in 2021. Will it work this time around? He's left everybody behind. He's obliterated the field. He's gone on its own, and if you're looking at, he knows how to conquer the bridge, and this has been his specialty. This has been his strength. As we can see him, easy, his legs, the rhythm there, his breathing there, his arms moving, the power there. He seems to have a lot of energy in tackling this bridge. I mean, it's if he was Nigerian, I would say he's from the Niger Delta.
Yeah. Well, as we know, he's been here. This is his third marathon, so he should be very familiar with the course. So I know that he has planned his race. So he knows what he's doing. Experience, not just experience in the course, but experience in winning. Like we said, in 2020, he won it and broke the course record. Last year, he came second with also one of the best course times. So this year, I believe he has planned his race well. It is also good to know that there are about 6 runners in this race that have at least been here several times. So there are a lot of people here, a lot of runners here that are familiar with the course, and we believe that they've planned their race well. So, as we're saying, the race is still on.
The race is still on, and the only Ethiopian seems to be keeping up with the second pack, the pack of 3. We'll take 2 from these 3 here, and Bamasai on a race on his own. We have expanded, we have extended, and as they go back, we now see the Nigerian ladies running down on the third mainland bridge. It's not going to be a struggle. It's now something more of a competition, and we're still waiting. From our commentary position, we haven't seen much of the elite athletes, the Kenyans and the Ethiopians, or we had more of Kenyans. So what are we saying, Atonya?
So, and I want to ask you, how much of a, you see how the Kenyans and sometimes the Ethiopians, they cooperate in their races. Do you think is a system we have in our own race?
No, it's not our culture. I mean, we are not going to cooperate to try and run fast. Everybody, as we say in Nigeria, or you answer your papa name. So you run on your own and you try to win the money and try to do what you can do. It may be something we need to learn, that it's a strategy. At a particular time, it helps to conserve energy when you exchange leadership. One person leads for a while, the other one leads for a while. Because what we should understand in leading the race is that there are lots of physics behind it. Because when you're in the front of the race, you tackle the elements, the air pressure, you're breaking through the air, so it tells on the muzzle. So that's why sometimes we get pacers to make to open up the air for you, the airways, so that you will not use as much energy. But as we said that, David Bamasai, who has promised who has promised that he's going to break the course record. He's running out now, and we are reaching the hour mark, and we do not know if we are close to the 21-kilometer mark. I think the 21-kilometer mark is as we go down, we climb the Ikoyi Osborne Bridge as we go down there. That might be about the 21-kilometer mark. So we'll look at that for those of us that are familiar with the Lagos scene, to look at that and see how impressive that is.
I did talk about that at a point. He will surely be not going with the pacer anymore, and so Bamasai has broken off almost at the same place he broke off in 2020, and of course around this is some distance. He has opened up this gap between him, and so he has we have the leader now, and of course the chasing pack. But here you have Pam, the Nigerian lady, who has gone past and of course going to where she was before. She was overtaken, and then she's back to leading now and opening up some gap too.
We have just passed the hour mark, and like I said earlier on, we now keep an eye on the clock. If we can get to the 21-kilometer mark in the next 2, 3, 4 minutes, then we are on course for a course record. This is the leader, Bamasai, and he must have that in his mind. He has the electronic timer in front of him. He knows where the 21-kilometer mark is. He knows what time is required for him to run there, and we'll keep on watching and see when he gets off the bridge and down to the city of Ikoyi, the province, the very luxurious province of Ikoyi.
Yes, we should also note that that one of the things that we said one of the factors that affects how fast you run is the shoes that you wear. In the last year alone, most of the shoes that come out have been really fast. And since after COVID, if you notice, records are being broken left, right, and center.
So are you giving the credit to the shoes or to the athletes training?
It's a factor, all of them. Like I said, the weather has to come into place, the shoe, your mindset, and also the pacer. All these factors have to come together as one for you to create like a world record, a personal best, or in our case, a new course record.
And now, as we watch the winner, we see that the leading ladies, hopefully it seems from our commentary point of view, are the Nigerian ladies, and they have about a 10-20 meter gap on others following them. It's a leading pack of two, and we are yet to confirm whether they are totally ahead of the Kenyans and Ethiopians. But if they are, and it seems likely that they are, then it's an impressive run, Ralph, from the Nigerians.
Indeed. Who confirmed that at the moment we have the lady taken over from, and that's Lasisi Felicia Detutu in front now.
You can see the shoes, as Atonya has been saying. These shoes have some sort of absorption control, cushion to help. I'm telling you, how important is that cushion in running?
A lot of research and technology goes into the making of running shoes. Like I said, in the last year, the shoes have become fast, so it has become a very big factor in how fast some of the athletes run. So it's a question of how your foot placing is. Like I said, a lot of factors go in, not just the shoe. Of course, you have to train. Of course, the weather has to be good, but in terms of the technology, it has really gotten really good in the last year.
And what is really good is the impressive way in which David Mamasai is destroying the pack. David Mamasai, and as we're looking at the clock now, it's 63 minutes. And at this point in time, we expect and we hope that he's reaching the 21-kilometer mark, because if he does, 20 kilometers, so he's about, we're a little bit behind schedule, because he needed to be on the 21-kilometer mark if he gets to 21 kilometers within the next 1 minute, that's it. He needed to get there at 63, 64 minutes but if he has a negative split, there's still a lot of hope. And I think Bamasai had known that the pace was not fast enough for a course record, so he had left them behind.
Exactly. But here you have the leading girl at the moment, if I will say that, Lasisi Felicia Detutu in front, and then of course opening up almost 50 to 60 meters gap, against Pam right there. La Sisi Felicia Detutu is the girl in front, and I will confirm if she is the one that all eyes will be on and getting to the finish line as soon, if she keeps the pace the way it is at the moment.
Yes, like we saw a little while back when the two of them were together, it looks like they were struggling to pass each other. Like we said, I don't think we have the culture of collaborating as runners like the Kenyans and the Ethiopians do. So it looks like probably they were struggling, and then Adetutu has left Pam. So we will see how it goes. Like we say, we still have a while to go, so it's not over till it's over. And we're back to Bamasai.
Bamasai running his race now. A quick drink of water will do.
Yes, as we can see that he at this point in time, I think he's approaching the flyover down, the Ikoyi flyover. He hasn't gotten there yet.
As you can see, he crossed the road. What he did is that he collected the elite athletes. They usually have their own water kept in a separate place. So that's what he did. He crossed and they arranged the athletes their own water in a separate place. So that's what he did. As a professional athlete, you notice that when they come, they bring their own bottles and they tell you where they want it placed, and they place it there.
So I was trying to expatiate on that, because their own water is not provided by the organizers. It may not just be water. They have their own drinks. It might be energy drinks or whatever it is. So they mark it and they put it at particular kilometers. So you have to go and pick it up where you reach that. And from their training, they know where they'll pick it up. They know what they needed to do to use it. And they know exactly what is required of them.
And so when they got that water, having crossed the road, they got that water, realized that, okay, that's not mine. And so he had to throw it away and crossed again to pick up.
I believe that has happened before. And sometimes when the runners are like, there are a lot coming to, I think in the Olympics, Kipchoge actually missed one of his stands because there were a lot of them going in at the same time. So if you notice, they now try to give a distance between the tables where they put the distance, because if there are a lot there, it's kind of like first person first. You notice that they tend to speed up so that they get in front, so that they don't collide with other runners.
And usually it's to do it is the later stage of the race where the Ridley Park would have filtered. They're more in a single file. So the waters come about like 20 kilometers, 21 kilometers, and at that point you know that they're not going to be bunched up. And they are not bunched up, as Bamasai is taking the race on his own. He grabbed another bottle of Aquafina from one of the sponsors, and he's running and he's doing that. And that's an observation you made, because the regular water is on the left of the road race, then their personal water is on the right, so they have to cross to get the personal water, so that there will be no confusion in getting the drinks that they're supposed to get.
Bamasai is the man who have 21 kilometers distance to cover. They've done 21.
Yeah, so
21
at the halfway point, it's 6 or 7 kilometers and 6 or 7 minutes. And unfortunately, it's 3 minutes too slow. So you must really have a blistering second half, a good negative split. At this rate, we are looking at 2 hours 11 minutes, 2 hours 11 and 2 hours 12 minutes. And except Bamasai can change the course of things, we may just have seen the course record not really tackled at the point.
That would be a major disappointment, but all the same, that it does happen. We'll live to chase that
record another day,
another year.
Yeah, because a pacer, to get to that record at this point, a pacer should have been with him till 35 kilometers or 30 kilometers, and we can see in the first 18 kilometers he's left the pacer. So probably the pacer has a lot of work to do.
The pacer had just one marathon race under his belt. And in that marathon race, he set his own personal best of 2 hours, 29 minutes, and of course, 53 seconds. Maybe that's not, the athletes are far faster than the pacer, and that's why you have Bamasai saying, I've had enough, and broke off.
Yes, if you see in some of the platinum races, like I said, the fastest time ever, the Guinness Book of Records, the fastest time is 1 hour 59 minutes by Kipchoge. Although that was not, it was not a world record, but it's the fastest time. And in that race, Kipchoge used 43 pacers.
Oh,
43, and some of them were Olympic gold medalists. Just to tell you what it took for him to run the world Guinness Book of Records fastest marathon. So like we said, pacing is very important.
Ade Tutu again. She's there. She seems to have taken a rhythm on her own. And at this point in time, she might get too excited because when she sees how far ahead she is, I think at this point in time, if I was her, $50,000 has played on my head.
oh.
Ralph is thinking about it, and maybe he wants to go and run now too.
For such money, well, one can do anything, including running for your life.
It would be running for your life, wouldn't it?
If you know what I mean. Well, it's Bamasai almost trying to replicate what we saw in 2020. It was quite a remarkable race he ran in that year. He's not as fast as he was in that year, but nevertheless, it's a quick look back to see where the chasing pack is at the moment.
As you can see them about 20, 30 meters behind as he leaves the Third Mainland Bridge, climbs the Osborne Bridge. He'll come down on Osborne and then we'll be in the Ikoyi suburbs. And at this point of the trail, it may be more pleasing to their mind because now they start seeing houses, they start seeing people will come out and cheer them. They start seeing more of the city, the beautiful city of Nigeria, of Lagos, of Ikoyi. They go through Ikoyi, get into Lekki, look at the Third Mainland Bridge, the Ikoyi Link Bridge. So at this point in time, you're having a tour, and sometimes this might encourage you to move faster and faster.
Bamasai is encouraged, he will be encouraged to move faster and faster, especially when it gets to that Ikoyi Link Bridge you talked about. You know, every year I call it Nollywood Bridge right here.
Yes, I remember that was where Kate Henshaw typically jogs. So it's a kind of like a Nollywood Bridge, yes. But it's also one of the sites of the marathon. We have the Third Mainland Bridge, which is the longest bridge in
West Africa,
and then we have the Ikoyi Link Bridge. So there are various sites and sounds, like we said. So they are going into the region where it is more populated. So you're going to see people. They're going to start cheering. And as we've said before, this gold label race is not just Access Bank or Nilayo or the Lagos State government. It's the people of Lagos. It's our race. So they come out and they cheer the athletes. And I'm sure when they even see the Nigerian athletes now, it's going to be even better. The cheering is going to be something else.
Now he's moving all on his own. Same thing he did in 2020. Access Bank, a gold label Access Bank Lagos Marathon. This is what we want to see. Sometimes we want to see a faster race. Kibet is the man leading the chasing of Bamasai. And of course, that man, Kibet, has done lots of races.
Well, if we notice history repeating itself as Bamasai seems to have lost some pace and the chasing pack seems to be closing in. At every step they get a stride closer and closer. And Kibet seems now to have getting to overtake Bamasai earlier than before. Is this a strategy or is this not? Because at this point in time, Bamasai seems to be losing steam. He seems to be losing speed. He seems to be losing motivation. And there might just be a race in our hands in this edition.
Oh, yes. Sorry, Tony. If you remember, Kibet there, almost overtaken. But I remember in 2020, he opened up about a 100 meters gap. And almost at the point, he was caught up with, again, Arando Zumbambadiwe. And then he opened up another gap.
Like I said, Kibet being with him might actually be a good motivation for him because he had been running on his own for a little while now. So you see his his spirit is lifted now that he has somebody by his side.
Well, a motivation for him, but a disadvantage for him because he's more or less done the pacing for Kibet, and Kibet is on an advantage now. And like we said earlier, you have left the rigorous mental fortitude of the Third Mainland Bridge where all they saw was road and water. Now they're seeing more life, they're seeing livestock, they're seeing buildings, they're seeing tourist attractions, tourist centers. So at this point in time, Kibet, you don't have to be as mentally strong as it is to run the Third Mainland Bridge as to run through the city. And probably Kibet might just have a little bit of an advantage here. But it's more of a competition. This is what we want to see. We want to see a competition. We want to see them run. We want to see a fight to the end. We want to see something great. So as they are running fast, they're running together, battling between themselves. who within the first three, Bamasai, Kibet, and I think the Ethiopian guy. Let us see what happens behind, where the Nigerian girls are also having a race of their own.
Maybe Bamasai is taking a rest and hoping to open up another gap. But there you have Lasisi Felicia Detutu still there in front, while Palmer is far behind now. But it is what it is. This lady, we'll just see what kind of history she will be making if eventually she comes tops in this Lagos Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. There you have the girl, the Nigerian girl, Lasisi Felicia Detutu.
Like we said, if you win this marathon, the visibility for you is going to be something else. Not to talk of the prize money, like we said, if it's a Nigerian, you're going to win on the elite side and you're going to win on the Nigeria side. So it's a double whammy, let's say. But then the visibility, and I believe also the opportunity for her will also be bigger. So this is a big thing, not just for her now, it's going to be for Nigeria, because we're going to celebrate her very well.
Very, very well. We'll celebrate her. Just the way we celebrated Otonye as Athlete of the Year some year in 2020, in 2000 or so. What year was that again?
2006.
2006.
I don't take my credit. 2000, I was the Athlete of the Year. So
great. Sorry about that. I didn't mention that. You ran that blistering race. Chased the man. You were chasing that man like
yes,
he stole something, and finally overtook him. That's where it is. Where the man in front here, Kibet Koech, Edwin Kibet Koech, the Kenyan, 39 years of age. Well, I tell you, he's just graduating into full marathon. He's been running different distance races as well as half marathon. And of course, this is his first full marathon. Are you surprised?
No, well, like his legs are probably fresh because he hasn't been doing the 42 kilometers. So he probably has fresh. Like we said, it's not an age thing, it's more of a mind thing. And how you plan your races. Like you said, you can only take part in 3 full marathons in a year. So how you plan your races, how you take care of yourself will determine your longevity in the marathon.
Exactly, I agree. Bamasai. And behind in blue, of course, he will just be
Kibet looks like he's just relaxed and he's running. I think Bamasai actually looks like he's struggling a little bit more than Kibet is. So, and the Ethiopian is really close behind. So that's a 3-man race right now.
That would be a shame if Bamasai loses this again, because look at this one. It looks like a man that is just starting the race, the way he's going. Kibet in front, Bamasai behind. Lagos.
Yes, we hope last year does not repeat itself again, especially where Bamasai is concerned. Because Kibet really looks like he's really good, really feels relaxed, and he's just taking it in his stride.
Taking it in his stride. Edwin Kibet Koech. As the man, we saw something that looked like almost 50 meters a gap earlier on, opened by Bamasai, but he's been caught up with now and overtaken by this Kibet man. And Kibet is going, that's the way the pace goes for Kibet.
As we see, Bamasai is now falling behind. He really has to watch himself because the Ethiopian is very close behind him, and Kibet is now running his own race.
You know, Bamasai has been drinking lots of water.
Yeah,
what does that mean?
He's probably dehydrated, and the elements of Lagos is probably telling him. And at this point in time, they don't just look at the city of Lagos and really, what does this marathon do, and what does it do for the city of Lagos now?
It looked at what everyone's been saying about it. The interest now that Access Bank Lagos City Marathon have gathered all over the world since gaining the gold medal race, and Lagos achieving that mega city. Yeah, that is always been trying to get. We saw that happening a lot during the time of Governor Fashola, and of course things been maintained here now, and we've seen this present Governor Sanwo-Olu also aiding a lot of the tourist attractions in Lagos and all that. Most of these athletes, they go around the world. They never ran on a bridge like Third Mainland Bridge. They've never ran on a bridge like the Ikoyi Link Bridge and Nollywood Bridge and all that. So major attractions, lots of attractions. Like you said, entering, leaving the bridge, the Third Mainland Bridge, and entering.
And how do you say about the culture and lifestyle of the people? Because you mentioned some governors here. Look, governments have come, governments have gone. I think this marathon has gone through. This is the second government.
Different administrations.
Different administrations. So, and it's still remaining the same. It's still constant. So, what does that say about what this marathon does to the calendar of the Lagos people or Nigerians as a whole?
I would say one thing that the Nilayo Sports Management did when they started this thing is to make sure that there's continuity, sustainability. It's not a political, it's not politicized. It doesn't matter which. We made the government realize that it's good for the economy of the country.
Yes, the economy and even the health. So it takes a lot of ministries together.
Yes, and we have, the sports policy that helps give incentive to people. It generates jobs, not just for the athletes, but also for companies, for private companies like Access Bank and all our sponsors to come in and, contribute to the lifestyle, this fitness and professional lifestyle of the marathon.
Oh yeah, that's really very important, and as we can see, people in Lagos actually take fitness as a way of life. We've gotten over 50,000 entries for this marathon. I know that marathon is not what we run off. Even casual runners and people that are very determined, like Otoyin has said, all the running she's done, she hasn't really run the marathon. So marathon is not really a culture. So how is this changing the narrative in Nigeria now?
A whole lot. It's changing because we've tried lots of times in different years to encourage marathon races. We organized a couple of marathon races for Nigerians, but at the end, it wasn't sustained, and so we need a race for Nigerians, a marathon race for Nigerians that will be sustained, not just this big race that we have. We need to encourage marathon running in Nigeria for the likes of Toye to lead.
As we know, about 70-75% of the people that are running this race are what we call fun runners.
Exactly.
Whether it be the 42 kilometers or the 10 kilometers, they are fun runners.
Exactly.
So we encourage them. Like we said, we are promoting also a fitness lifestyle because people sometimes need the competition to motivate them to start this lifestyle. So we encourage them. So we say, come out. If you can't do the 42, you do the 10 kilometers.
Yeah, talking about the 10 kilometers, it's a fun race now, and we're hearing that next year is going to be an elite race. So we start having elite athletes at the 10 kilometers from next year. So it's something that shows growth, shows development, and we know that this is the largest, should I say, festival event in Nigeria at the moment. This Lagos City Access Bank Marathon.
We also hear that from 2024, it won't be free registration anymore. You're going to have some kind of... is that the way?
You know that this gold label race is the only gold label race in the world that does not collect a fee. It's the only gold label. Every other will collect like $200, $100 they pay. And meanwhile,
as we see the ladies leading the way, I have to remind Otoye that also this is the only label in the world that that we have scarcity of money, we have scarcity of naira, we have scarcity of fuel, we have scarcity of many things. So we can't just burden the citizens by collecting so much money again. But nonetheless, we know that
at least for
but we have abundance of marathon runners. About 50,000 people are running. So
exactly.
We don't have a scarcity of runners.
Not at all. And if you win, there won't be scarcity of the fund to pay.
So that's what the Nigerian runner using another male runner as a pacer, which is actually a good strategy, Annie, wouldn't you say?
Well, I'll say, but I think that she'll be faster than the male runner because she's meeting up a slowing down male runner, so she probably will leave that behind and look for another one and target ahead. As we see Nibet going down. This is Palomar Bridge. He's getting up Palomar Bridge, gone 27 kilometers, I think.
You can see people living in their wedding You can see people going for weddings and still even
Yeah,
watching
no,
the
that's the
marathon.
area that the Ikoyi registry is. So it's part of the tourists we can see. As you're running through, you have them people going for their wedding. You can see some Americans coming. They travel all the way to Nigeria in their own way for wedding tourism.
It's quite remarkable.
It's quite remarkable indeed. So very soon he'll turn down the Falomo roundabout and try to head up towards the body lawn and to climb the Nollywood Bridge and enter Ikoyi. And once you get into that bridge, you know that it's almost homecoming.
Homecoming for Nibet, Kibet rather, that we're expecting. Kibet has been running some race here. And of course, from that almost a 50 meters gap to closing the gap and overtaking Bamasai and leading here, opening some kind of almost a 50 meters gap himself over Bamasai is something.
Yes, as you can see, Bamasai is nowhere in sight.
Nowhere in
So
sight.
Kibet is now on his own, and his running looks relaxed, a little bit
It looks
straight.
bad, but what is worrisome for me is that when a runner starts looking back, it shows that fatigue, there's a lot of fatigue telling on him. So he should just face forward, look forward, keep to his race, and think about the $10,000 bonus if he can break the course record.
Yes, that would be a very good incentive. So as you can see, the sun is coming out, so it's going to be a little bit warmer for them. So like we said, they now need to plan the finish part of their race. So this is the Ethiopian. We can't really tell if he has actually overtaken Bamasai also. So now Kibet passing through that Awolowo roundabout.
Yeah, and at this point of time, yeah, you can see.
Sticky better all the way.
I think Kipet has just beaten Bamasai to his own playbook because Kipet allowed Bamasai to to attack the bridge, and once they got down into the suburb of Ikoyi, Kipet took over from there.
It's like just saying, let me see what you got.
Yeah, let me see what you've got. At the end of the day, is that all you've got?
Is that all you got?
The Muhammad Ali technique.
Okay.
Muhammad Ali tactics.
Catch me if you can then.
Yes, catch me if you can.
That's what it is at the moment. Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. Kibet, Edwin Kibet Coach, doing his thing.
Yeah, now entering into his now family on body lawn. So at this point in time, the course will take him through to the roundabout where he joins the Ikoyi Lekki Link Bridge, then gets into the Admiralty Way, and from there he'll run out.
Now we have our elite athletes, the women, finally. There they are.
But it's amazing that they are bunched up to show they're not having a fast race. So are they thinking that the Nigerian girls will lose steam and they are keeping up there? It will be amazing if the Nigerians beat this elite athlete. And if that happens, then that will be a big thing for Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. It will be a very big, huge thing. And then we can now start thinking about paying the Nigerian girls appearance fee for the next race.
Is it that they didn't notice her go past them or what?
I don't think... it baffles me too. So yeah, probably she has some answers for that.
Like they said, the planning, the Nigerians went to the planning with the Kenyans and the Ethiopians. So the Nigerians didn't get the memo. So they took off on their own.
Okay. Well, we're not done. We'll see how that pans out at the end. Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. This is the second gold label marathon in Africa at the moment.
Yes,
after
I think
Cape
the other
Town.
one, yes, in South Africa, yes.
Great, great. So kudos to Lagos, Access Bank, Lagos City Marathon. It's all good.
It's all good.
Everything lies on the athletes now to give us looking that the course record might not fall in 2023 the way it's going.
Well, we seem to be, because I can remember we sat down here 2 years ago, underestimated Bamasai when he broke through and was going through. At this point in time, do you think that we're making the same mistake with the Nigerian athletes?
Nigerian, okay. Oh,
We may be
the women,
underestimating
you
them.
see, the women.
Yeah, the women.
Sometimes there's a bit of underestimation when you have not seen somebody do something before. So let's underestimate them and then let them prove us wrong.
Yeah, they surely give us reasons to underestimate them.
Well, because they've gone halfway the marathon and they are leading. So if it was a half marathon race, you see that they could have won the race. So it's something we should really start looking at them and saying that, are you, well, maybe let me put you on the spot now, the both of you. Are you saying that they're favorites for the race at this point in time?
And like I said when we started, that if you notice, if you look at the time that the Nigerian runners have been improving over the course of the last 7 marathons we have done, and that was a motivation for them. So, and this year, the prize money plus the incentives, it's a big motivation. And we even know that next year they want to increase the prize money. So, incentives and motivation all around. So, what are you to do but to try and come first?
Exactly. If you take a look and at the back of your mind, you know that if I win this race, that is the money I'm going to get. Then what other motivation do you need? All the motivations are there for you.
Yeah, this is the bunch pack of the elite athletes, the elite ladies. At this point in time, we seem to believe that we have 2 Nigerian girls ahead of this pack, and they seem to be going, except as long as we've been following. The fact that they are still bundled up together proves in my own estimation that it has been a very slow race for the elite ladies.
Not so for Kibet, who is leading, and it's looking like he can't even find anyone in sight. Bamasai have totally dropped off being seen at all. As it is at the moment, that's what we see. Kibet only, it is Edwin Kibet Koech. Still in the lead. Unofficially, we have a 1 hour 31 minutes, 23 seconds.
We're expecting him here in the next 40 minutes or thereabouts.
Or thereabouts. Soon you will find him on the Nollywood Bridge, Ikoyi Link Bridge. It's been a great race so far.
Yes,
It's been an unusual and exciting race. We've seen the change of leadership mantle. Often we don't see that. We keep on saying that in Africa we don't change leaders often, but here in this race it's proving us that we can change leaders. Kibet and Bamasai have been doing different issues on changing the leadership.
Edwin Kibet.
Well, actually, what do we know more about this Kibet? Do we know anything about his history of running? Is he someone to excite us? Is he someone to take us by surprise, or is this something that we've expected? That look, he's someone that has been doing this for a very, very long time. What can you say about him? Anything at all?
I think the main thing that people are looking at is his age, because he's 39. Although he doesn't look it, he actually looks really young and really good for his age. But most people are looking, in this part of the culture, when you're 39, or even in the sports world, when you're 39, they think you should start retiring. But he's proving us and proving everybody that thinks that wrong. So, like we said, he's now in front of the pack and he's leading it.
And these are the elite ladies. And quite frankly, I use that word very loosely, elite ladies, because if we have 2 Nigerian ladies who are way ahead of this one, then I hesitate to call them elites. I call the Nigerians the elite ladies. These are the chasing pack, in my own opinion, the chasing pack. And we will need to see if they have closed up on the elite ladies. But from the way they are still bundled up in about 8 and 9, I don't think that they are killing the time very soon.
No, it's like they are playing it safe. The ladies are playing it safe. Considering the weather and the humidity, is like they don't want to really stretch themselves.
So we really like to know whether we will wait to see whether the Nigerians are actually still leading that pack. And if they are leading that pack at this point in the race, it's a very, very impressive run.
We say have a Kibet there in a world of his own. This Kibet, Edwin Kibet Koech, born on 15th of May 1983. And of course, you have him. He's been running lots of the outdoor races. You have him. His best race, of course, in 3,000 meters steeplechase was done in July 2015, where he placed fourth in 8 minutes and 36 seconds, 36.3 seconds.
I believe that steeplechase can be like a training ground for the marathon because of the toll it can take on your leg, especially jumping over the steeples. So it might actually have been a good training for him to come into the full marathon. But let's see. He's still leading the pack.
Exactly.
The other two are nowhere in sight.
You know, he won the Barcelona half marathon. That was in 2005, the Barcelona half marathon. He won in 1 hour, 3 minutes and 4 seconds. We'll talk more about Kibet later.
This is some runners. I want to wonder whether this is a lady running or these are some men still running. It looks like the Nigerian lady. It looks like Adetutu, that she's still running strongly ahead. She is a leading lady, and really it's really remarkable because it's not just leading in front of the park. She's giving them some 50, 70 meters. Can she keep it up? That's the
question.
Million naira question.
That's a $50,000 question. Can she keep it up? In her case, 50,000 plus 3 million.
We'll be hoping he keeps it up.
And that is Kibet. At this point, it's actually impressive. And you see now the numbers someone has gone on for a shirt, and it's going to be very sad because you know the chip is on her number. And
no, they actually have 2 beeps. They actually have 2 beeps in the back and in the front.
I don't know if the Nigerian athletes have to. Do all athletes have 2 beeps? Because I know the elite will have, but nobody would have given her a chance because I can see her holding on to that beep, and that's really not very good because it doesn't give her hand relax. She's now conscious of doing something, and she doesn't want to let go, and it's really amazing.
I remember when I was competing, that was one of the things I used to like use extra pins to make sure that beep does not come off. That's one thing you need to still stay in place.
An experience did that to you. Never let go, so you have the safety pin to hold on to it very
they usually
tightly.
give you 4. I will put like 6 or 8 on that thing to make sure it stays in place. Because
that's very impressive from her, really very impressive. And if she wins the race, that even makes it more impressive.
I was worried at the point for Bama's side where he was holding on to water can.
And so too now our leader, Kibet has gone off, and that should come with her, and he's holding it too. And that he's on the Nollywood Bridge at the moment, so he's getting into the home stretch. But
he
holding,
has 2 beeps.
He's holding his beep, and that is worrisome for him.
That's worrisome for athletes. They need to make sure that those beeps are secure.
Yeah, it's because for those of you that don't really understand, is that the beeps have little chips which monitor their GPS, their location, their speed, and each time they cross a particular milestone, it registers their time. So it's important that they have the beeps with them that takes the half. So once that beep goes out, then there's a big problem. There's a big problem, especially in knowing the actual time you have run.
$50,000 problem.
It is a $50,000 problem.
That's the problem we do not want to have, but it seems there is a problem that is
it's with
showing its ugly
both
head.
leaders, the male leader and the female leader. So is it that the beep doesn't like leaders?
But this will be something for them to take note next time. Like maybe 4 pins will not do it. You need to put more pins and make sure it's secure on your vest.
Yeah, it might do with I do not know the material of the. We know this the material of the beeps. Sometimes when a lot of sweats and a lot of water, it could tear off and it could tear off from the pin. So probably they're thinking about a more waterproof, water resistance and beep number will might be very required next time.
They
Probably
have,
the pins, because I know the pins are a bit small. That's for safety reasons because you don't want anything big that will come off and like prick the athletes. But like I said, you need to put on now more than 4 pins. Just secure the beep.
They have
all
a
round.
Nibate. Of course, Kibet, beg your pardon, Kibet is still there. And at every point, it's hard to look back. I take a quick look back, a deco to the left and right to see if there is anybody in sight. But nobody is in sight. And this is the man, according to World Athletics, his profile on World Athletics, of course, he ran half marathon. His last half marathon was in 2006, as we have here on World Athletics, his profile, and I was in Valencia half marathon in Spain, and he won that half marathon in 1 hour, 2 minutes and 48 seconds. That is the man that is leading the pack, having moved from half marathon to running his first full marathon here in Lagos.
He just passed the 30 kilometer, the 32 kilometer mark, so he has 10 kilometers to go. So now it's a 10 kilometer race, and I believe you can run the 10 kilometers in 28 minutes. So we look at 28 minutes of that. We're looking at 208, 209. The course record is not beyond him, should I say?
Yes, it's not.
Does he need to quicken his pace to give us this course record that we so desire?
Yeah.
Like we said, he plans his race, so it's where his abilities really lie. Because if you run faster than the pace that you're used to, then you're gonna like hit the proverbial wall, like the runners say.
And we can see the Nigerian runner still holding tight to her beep, and that's something that is worrisome now, because as you can see, the elite runners have their name in front and then their number behind. But see, the Nigerian number, some of them have only the number, so I don't think they have two beeps. They have just one, and it's going to be worry for them if anything happens to that. But anyway, we have 10 kilometers to go for the elites to start seeing the champion. And as the Nigerian girl reaches Palomo, I think she's closing in on Palomo. But then we see this is Admiralty Way now. That's our leader, and at this point he can see the luxury of Lekki, and as he runs it down, he seems more comfortable to run within the inner cities than he was on the bridge.
Yes, it must be really uncomfortable having to hold something in your hand, because now he has to hold that beat till he crosses the finish line, and that can be really uncomfortable. It's not something he's used to doing running, so that's another adaptation he has to make now in order to win the prize.
Everything, anything you have to do to win such a big prize, then you have to do it.
So for those that are familiar with the course, he's going to come out at the very, very popular Lekki Ekpe Expressway, then go down the toll gates. And from there, he'll face down Ozumba Mbadikwe Road, and that's where we now know that very soon we start expecting them at the prestigious Eco Atlantic finish.
The man Kibet. Isn't it a surprise that there is no one in sight? Not at all.
Yeah, but Ralph, we know that this is usually the picture we see at this point in time in the marathon.
We saw this last in 2020. We didn't see that in
we saw it last
2021.
year when they overtook Bamasai.
But what is more even surprising is how quickly and how fast Bamasai evaporated. And I was tipping him to win this race, and he just gave up the challenge so easily. And I'm not even sure he's in second position at the moment.
No, I think the Ethiopian runner had overtaken him. It's the same thing that happened with Galeta last year. Galeta overtook him, then left him and went on his own.
Maybe that strategy was meant for only 2020, and in 2021 it failed him, and here it is failing him again. as we have, well, that is the Ethiopian. He's overtaken. Bamasai is in the second place at the moment. But he has a long catch-up.
Bamasai is not inside.
Not
That's
inside
very
at all.
surprising.
That's a surprise.
Well, I guess we are coming to an era where those that have been running, this is our 8th edition, so it's kind of like out with the old and in with the new. So from next year, we'll probably have a new set crop of gold label athletes running this race. Now we have Kibet looking back, but really he has given the next runner, we can't even see the next runner.
And there we go. It's quite impressive running. And I think at this point in time, we will have a negative split because I believe his first half of the race was, is not his second half is faster than the first half of the race. He's doing well.
This beep loss is a very worrisome development because now we see the first two runners in the middle don't even have their beeps in front. And I hope he has his beep on him because...
But all eyes on this man, Bamasai is his name, Edwin, what did I say, Bamasai? It's
this is
Edwin Kibet Koech.
Kibet Koech still running through. He's going to come out now. At this point in time, he's exiting the Lekki area, the Lekki Phase 1 gates. He's going to in the next 30 seconds or so he'll exit the Lekki Phase 1 gate and get into the Lagos Lekki Epe Expressway. At that point now, we can start hoping for. At that point he'll have about 8 kilometers left to run, and it's quite impressive. His speed is still constant. He's still running smoothly. His arms are still working vigorously. His breathing is still relaxed. His legs are still working as he's pumping through. At this mode, he can do this for another 100 years and keep at this speed because this is poetry in motion, and he can keep doing this with a list of very efficient running, I must say.
Yes,
Very efficient running, poetry in motion. Everything is being put into it. If you want to write a poem, that's what Nefiok talked about. This is poetry in motion. As soon as he's headed for the Lekki toll gate, the famous Lekki toll gate, you got to see it. It has become one of that kind of a site, a tourist attraction to the Lekki toll gate. And back to a lot of things.
Yes, at this point, I believe it's a question of mind over body because you cannot slow down, you cannot, and by this time the muscle is aching, you've lost a lot of fluid from the body, so it's a question of mind over body. You maintain that mindset of winning. I believe this is Lima, so he should be in the second place because I think he has passed Bamasai, because Bamasai is nowhere in sight.
Not at all.
I hope he's still in the first three.
The way it is, I wouldn't think so because we also saw Sang that was close at that time to also overtaken, so he might have fallen far behind, but we hope he has not fallen off the race in its entirety. But here is the man headed for the Lekki toll gate, having another look at his wristwatch.
Making sure he's keeping with pace. Like he says, this athlete, they really plan their races, so they check their watch to make sure that they are running at the proper pace that they should run at so that they can make the time that they plan to make.
Exactly. Is he making his time? I think he's kept that pace, that same pace when he took over the race.
You can know because that's what running efficiency, and that's why I said earlier on that he can keep this for the next 100 years. He'll not slow down, and if he can just do that, it doesn't seem like he has a challenge in any way. And this is an hour 48 minutes. If he can do the remaining time, I think about 8 kilometers or 7 kilometers in the next 20 minutes, we are seeing a new course record.
Beautiful strides from Edwin. You just enjoy the way he's just striding on that Lekki Ekpe Road.
Being encouraged by other fun runners, we'll see. You see, that's the thing about Lagosians. We're friendly, and this is like we said, this marathon is a Lagos, it's a Nigerian marathon, so people will come out and cheer. The fun runners will cheer the professional runners also. We want to encourage them. Like we said, if we have a new course record, it's a Nigerian thing.
It's not far off from the toll gate as it is at the moment. You still have the Nigerian lady.
Day 2-2. She looks to be winning a little bit.
She's my athlete of the event so far, because it's impressive how she has taken this to the gutters. And if she finishes this race first, I'm sure there'll be pandemonium everywhere, in Jos, in Zaria, in Calabar, in Maiduguri, all over Lagos, that a Nigerian finally wins the marathon. And then it will all go down that the Access Bank City, Lagos City Marathon has done something incredible. And I think it will all be investment worth it, and it will be a testament to investing in whatever we invest in. We have Nigerians that are talented enough to achieve the unachievable.
That's really true. So Kibet still keeping his pace.
Yeah, and talking about that, to winning in Nigeria seems to be a habit, especially for our Nigerian female athletes. So, Latonya, I'll give you the hand as a representative of the Nigerian female athletes here. We are world champions, we are Commonwealth champions, we are NCAA champions. We are just champions everywhere as long as you're a Nigerian female.
Yes. They say ladies first, so I guess the guys allowed the ladies to do it first.
Yeah, ladies first, after the men.
It was the men that added that part, so we just say ladies first. The men added that part, but we don't really take that seriously. So it's the ladies first. So if she really does this, it will be something else. Really, it will put Nigeria, when it comes to marathon, on another level.
No, and see, it will be a game changer and a life changer for her. She will start going for international marathons. She probably will have, and I dare say, endorsement, a wild card to the Olympics. Probably that can be moved, or the World Championship. A lot of things for her to win a gold medal race. To win a gold medal race, that means you have beaten gold medal athletes. And so there's something more. There's something more to you. That means you have, with a little bit of exposure, you have something there in you. And we will start seeing, of course, she might probably be the face of Access Bank in the near future.
Yeah, not only that, she's now going to pave the way for other, for the marathon, for other runners.
Yeah, runners, and most especially female runners. It's like breaking a glass ceiling. It's amazing. And let me not get ahead of myself. Let's wait. She still has about 15 kilometers to run. So
I like that. Don't get ahead of yourself. Well, this is Bamasai. I'm still there on Ozumbambadi Way right now.
Kibet.
We're so used to Bamasai. He's the course record holder.
Yeah, okay. I'll take that. But nevertheless, this is the man. Don't take anything away from him. He's run the race that we all been expecting. Edwin Kibet Koech is the man on the move.
Yeah, it's on Ozumba, like you say, just by his side, you see the luxurious mobile building, office building, and you start seeing the sights and sounds of Lagos as they go through this. And that's why after the Third Mainland Bridge, we are very lucky to see some of the best sights in the city of Lagos. As he goes down, you'll see even the area of the 1004 building, flat building, lots of things down there.
And he's going to pass the law school now also.
Yes. So many things that watching the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon will enable you to understand and see why Lagos is such a mega city and such a melting point of all cultures and all countries and all kinds of habits and all kinds of people.
But that's a cliche of a marathon, isn't it? To showcase the city where the marathon is taking place in. That's like a cliche for marathons. So we know this marathon is showcasing Nigeria, Lagos, in all its beauty.
Yes, it is in all its beauty, and you can say that And the course of this marathon was designed in such a way that some of the most beautiful parts, especially on the island Lagos, has been captured. Of course, Lagos is more than the Third Mainland Bridge and the Nollywood Bridge and the suburbs of Ikoyi and Lekki. We have beautiful areas in Lagos. But I mean, coming into Lagos, this from the airport, you see the historical city of Ikeja. You go around, you see the bubbling bus stop in Oshodi, which is and they start in Surulere, which is a sports city, the center where all champions, including both of us, are sitting down here, probably groomed through. So Lagos is such a place that is dear to our heart and dear to anybody that's visited here.
We just need to add the fact that it took off at the starting point at the National Stadium. That's the stadium that hosted in 1973 All Africa Games.
Yeah, the second edition of the games and the first time that Nigeria hosted it. And it's an iconic stadium, and it's the stadium in which also we must remember that our great Super Eagles qualified for the first World Cup ever.
Well, that stadium is facing a major refurbishment. And of course, we'll get back to life soon, very soon. We've been promised, and we're looking out for that time. But here is Kibet.
Well, he has 6 kilometers to go, and he has roughly 16 minutes to do that. I think it's very possible, Otoye. At 6 kilometers, he has 16 minutes to do that, to break the course record.
Otoye, do you agree with him?
It's possible. It's really possible. And just for us, for a tidbit, and I want to upset the footballers. Do you know that road racing is now one of the fastest growing sporting events, even more than football, in the world?
Yes, and talking about the fastest, that's the fastest female athlete in the Access Bank City Marathon, and it's a Nigerian. And for her to keep it to this level, to this stage, at this point in time, it's impressive. And look, Ralph, I don't really care what happens next. This girl must be encouraged. This girl is a champion. This girl is a pride to Nigeria. She has destroyed the field of Kenyans and Ethiopians. She has destroyed the field of elite athletes. She has destroyed the field of gold label runners. She has destroyed the field of world champion. She has destroyed the field of people that we have gotten from all over the world. This is homegrown. This is a talent made and bred in Nigeria. This is Nigeria. This is what we're talking about. This is improvement, and this is what we love about the spirit of Nigeria. And like I said earlier to Otoye, the spirit of the Nigerian women athletes.
Yes, the mindset is so strong. You can imagine what it takes for you. We've had a lot of arguments, whenever we start this marathon. A lot of the question that is asked is, what of the Nigerian runners? When is a Nigerian going to win this Nigerian gold label event? Well, people, you have it.
Well, we don't have it yet, but we may have it.
We may have it. Let's put it that way. We may have it. Yeah, but even up to this point, it's still, for me,
it's an impressive run.
It's an impressive run.
And thanks for quickly bringing back Otoye back to reality. We may have it. And of course, this is the year that it might just happen.
Oh, and it will be a good year. Our gold label.
Women.
And as we can see, sorry, at the background is the part of the sites of Lagos. We're talking about 1,004 flats built the Obasanjo government, where we had a civil servant living in a small estate where we had 1,004 flats, and it's a nice. And then the Nigerian Law School, of course, like Otoye mentioned earlier, that's the war fence of the Nigerian Law School. So we are seeing very iconic features in the Lagos City Marathon.
Yes, talking about the growth of road racing, like we said, it's the fastest growing event in the world. So you'll be arguing with footballers. We know that football is a popular sport, but you cannot take it away from us. As of last year, the amount of road racing events doubled from last year for the World Athletics. It has doubled. The amount of labels that has been given out to people has doubled from last year.
Oh, really? That's impressive. But yes, as you can say that, because in a football match you have 22 people playing, and in Nigeria you have 40,000 people watching the stadium. But here you have 50,000 people actively participating. That's massive. It's massive. I'm telling you, it's massive.
And it's the only event where a professional and a lay person can compete in the same. For instance, the Olympic. Do you know that the Olympic now is organizing a mass participation race aside from the Olympic marathon? So the common man can qualify to go and run an Olympic event now. That is how big the mass participation event has gotten.
That's impressive. Yes, it is. And like you said, much more different from football, because I don't see a time where Ralph will be playing football with Sunday Olisa and JJ Okocha at the professional level. But in the marathon, you can do that with the top athletes. You run the same event. So you can't do that in football or any other sports.
Well, they will all retire and come back to meet me. I keep running my race with my mouth. Always.
Yes. So we can see Kibet still maintaining that pace. Really impressive. Really
Kibet keeping it up. This race is almost done and dusted for him.
Yeah, Kibet is now turning up, and soon he'll get to Aki Adeshola. And once he gets to Aki Adeshola, we are looking at he running straight down, turning up at Bishop Oluwole. Then from Bishop Oluwole, and that's the home straight. He enters Eko Atlantic. So he has quite a steep, but this is probably the toughest part of the race, because he's going up a little bit of a hill compared to where he was running before. Though, like I said, the Lagos City Marathon is obviously a level field, but there's a little bit of throws and valleys and downs and ups, and here is a little bit on the hill. And let's see if he can do like Oteye says, just pick up the pace as he climbs up.
And we can see Lima, the Ethiopian, I believe is in the second position. He's in a more relaxed pace. I believe he's not really struggling with anybody, and we can see nobody in sight, probably far behind.
Yeah, I think the problem with Lima now is that he's so far behind the leader, so he doesn't really know the course route. I don't know if there are ways, there are directions that people directing him, because the leading pack is with Kibet, and the escort drivers and all the stunt riders are with Kibet. And Kibet is giving him quite a part, and Lima is on his own in the second position.
Well, Lima, wondering where the road is, but this man is not wondering where the right path is. He's on the right path. On the right path to stardom, on the right path to getting everything, on the right path to getting the huge dollars at stake here, and on the right path to get into the finish line to get it all.
Yeah, 2 hours gone on the race. Is on Aki Adeshola. That's very close, about 3 to 4 kilometers away from here. And that's the pack of the ladies. That's the chasing pack, in my opinion. I think so, if they haven't caught the Nigerian girl. But I see the ladies are just still bunched up together. They are on the
Nollywood Bridge.
Yeah, Lekki Ikoyi Bridge, and that's just we're looking at 31, 32 kilometers at the end of that bridge. So they still have 10 kilometers to go. And at this point in time, if I think our producers will show the leading Nigerian girl, if she's still in front, if she's still leading the pack.
Then at this point,
we have Guta there
on this bridge.
I can't remember seeing, but she probably has left the bridge. I can't remember seeing the Nigerian lady on the bridge. But I don't think this chasing pack in bunch up as they are, I don't think they are running as fast as she has been running, because she was really, really, really tearing through the track, or through the road, I would say.
In that pack, we can see Guta. She was second last year, and also in 2019. So she's actually familiar with this course.
They're familiar with the course with 10 kilometers to go. And Otoye, you have been running this race. How long does it take them to run? Will you take to run 10 kilometers?
She should have
For me, 10 kilometers is about 50-something minutes.
No, then I shouldn't be talking to you.
Well, having known the route very well, she should have really shown her familiarity with it, but that's not the case, because at this moment, our leading man, Edwin Kibet, is not having any competitor. He is just there on his own, doing everything possible, to win the race. And it's almost a no contest at this moment with Kibet. Another quick look at his wristwatch to see exactly what time he has spent. And that holding his tag has also not done him very well. You see him exchanging the tag from left to right and all that. So
he's basically doing exercise with weights on one hand and the other. So like I said, it might be a bit uncomfortable, but he kind of has no choice but to do it to also maintain so that they can register his running time.
As Kibet, he has left to Zumbamba Diwe. This is Lima, second at the moment.
Well, the gap between the first and the second and the third or the rest of them is amazingly very. I don't know what that forbids. Is it that we are not having? Are they not competitive enough, or the first two have just taken the race, the bull by the horn? Should I say the race by the horns?
Well, between Lima and the leader Kibet, it's almost 400 meters.
And then we do not know how far behind the rest of the chasing packer.
That's a shame.
That's a real shame,
Well,
I would say.
We must admit that sometimes this really does happen in marathons. It really happens where you have somebody, especially in the last 10, 15 kilometers, leave the pack and then run on their own. I believe...
Once you start seeing the supporters club there, Kibet is going to turn up to Bishop Oluwole, and that's just a road down, and it's almost at the end point soon.
So Atlantic.
Yes, we do not know if he can do that in another 6 minutes to break the course record, but he's probably going to. He's giving us, I think, 2 hours, 11 minutes, 12 minutes. That's what. It's quite an impressive time, but really, we had hoped that we will have something much faster than this.
Let me just, go back to seeing that the members of the Nigeria Football Supporters Club, football and other clubs, other sports supporters club. This is new this year. It has been introduced to encourage the athletes. The athletes they love to be cheered. They love to be encouraged. They love to see people, shouting, and screaming when they are running. That encourages them. And so they've brought in the
supporters club.
The supporters club at different points at stadium.
Yeah, and talking about supporters, I just glanced through one of our most famous pidgin English commentators, and I don't know if we can talk to her and see if there's anything that she has seen in the accelerator. So, how do they see this race now?
Well, this race get voltage and a good label, meaning say we don't upgrade for inside this Nigeria where we did so. No say this race where they start in the 80s and nobody knows say the thing will get level like this. And now when we say they can't kickstart time again, this Access Bank Lagos City Marathon, 8 years on the bounce, men and women will get equal voltage of pogri. You can see say the women they're extra competitive because we know say some women don't win marathon before. Well, Ratcliffe don't win marathon before, don't be 1, 2, 3 times of the era. So now I don't put more money. The women now they show their shares. I don't know, Sha, with the way the thing you me, the be like say go be Kenyans when go carry on. But anything is possible, my people. Boko.
All right then. Thank you very much, Swore. Chief Swore.
Yeah, Chief, you have to put that Chief Swore, one of our only female title holders. But we can see, she made a allusion there that we are seeing the Nigerian ladies still leading the pack at this stadium. So we have the $50,000 seems to be going to the Nigerian girl at now. That's going to be something amazing, something incredible.
Something unbelievable, something
Ralph,
out of this world.
I think
about women and overcasting.
We can start getting excited that the Nigerian will beat all the Kenyans today.
All right, let's hope so that it comes to pass. But I wanted to identify that man that has been with her all along, Dewumi Adebola Jamiu, in that vest number 5991, and Bamasai still at the top of his race. Came here wearing vest number 3, but it's number 1 as the race progresses. He's just enjoying himself.
Well, you say he's enjoying himself. I'm saying he's fighting. At this point in time, there's a lot of fatigue in his body. All he's seen at this point in time is that he's looking for the finish point. You see, it's good that the finish is at Eco Atlantic, because if the finish was on the 3rd mainland bridge, a lot of people at the end will jump inside the lagoon, because everything is taken away from you. You are tired. I tried running the marathon once, and I tell you, I stopped at 13 kilometers, and that was at the bridge, and I almost died inside for a swim. So I tell you, it's not easy at all. It's a very difficult thing.
I can imagine.
Because you use a lot of the calcium, magnesium that helps you not cramp. So at the end of that's why you have to do things like stretching. When you see some of the runners, that when they finish, you notice that they go warm down after they finish, because you have to kind of like get your body. When you finish running, everything is tight, all the muscles are tight, they've been drained of a lot of the nutrients in your body, and you have to go and replenish that store.
Yeah, unofficially 2 hours 8 minutes, and he's about He has passed through the Barbie Tower, so he's about entering the Eco Atlantic City gates. So he's getting ready. He's getting close to the finish, and I think from the city gates to the finish line is about 2 kilometers or 1.5 kilometers. So we are definitely not going to see a course record, but it's going to be a pretty impressive time and a pretty impressive run from Kibet.
What do you say? What are we going to break last year's record also of 2 hours 11 minutes? Yes.
Well, it's going to be closer, around 2 hours 11, 2 hours 12, in my opinion. That's about the pace at which he's going. He has entered the city gates, and so any moment from now we start hearing the cheers and the dancing of the pretty ladies and the ecstatic crowd as he
just to remind
to the
you
finish line.
That if he actually breaks the course, last year's record, which is 2 hours 11 minutes and 58 seconds, there's still a bonus in it for him.
There is still a bonus for Aiden him, just breaking last year's course time.
Yes.
Great. That's where it is. At this point, we'll just tell you that we have our winner for 2023.
Yes.
What time he will finish is what we do not know at this point.
Yeah, we can be confidently say, I think if you are a betting man, you'll bet on him now. But I don't think any bookmaker would have taken your bet at this point in time.
I'll just laugh.
Well, it's possible. We've had some races where people got to like 5 meters to the finish line and they just couldn't move anymore.
But at this time the gap is too much. He will roll across the line.
But, what was the year? Was it in 2016 or 2017? That we had that runner, that was helped across the finish line. It was almost on all fours. And he was helped.
I think it was his twin brother that actually helped him across the finish line, if I do remember correctly.
So we have started to see the flags of the sponsors, and we are seeing the beautiful roads of the city, of the Eco Atlantic City. We are going to hear the jazz, the girls are dancing, the music is drumming, the people are shouting as the runner is visibly running to his maybe the last roundabout. He's going to be visible to us at the finish. Everybody's shouting and they're cheering him on.
And the second runner is now coming behind him, Lima from Ethiopia.
He's not gonna beat the course record. That has gone. He's not gonna beat last year's time. I don't think he will. But it's quite an impressive time in all ramifications.
Quite impressive. Come past the course record. And so we're going to have that this year. We'll live to fight for it another year in 2024. And but this man, no need to look back.
Yeah, no need at all. You should keep your focus on the finish line.
I think for some of them it became a habit. Just looking back is like part of the running. Although it does take away from your speed, so there's no need for that.
This is Edwin Kibet Koech. He's 39. Graduated to full marathon or just in this race. He's been running half marathons, but this is his first full marathon, 42.2 kilometers. This man will complete in
yes,
a few
at
minutes.
this point we will say that last year's record is also gone. There's no breaking that also.
Well, mind you, we have the unofficial time, so we really don't know what's happening at the official time, but it wouldn't be so far away from this.
Very true, very true. But this man has run this race. He took it by the scruff of the neck. Away from Bamasai.
While that might have given him the race, but what killed his record attempt is the first half of the race. I think it was too slow. If he could have been with Bamasai at the first half of the race, that would have been a little bit impressive for him.
Now we have the cheerleaders welcoming the first place, Kibet, to the finish line. Still checking his watch to see if he's still keeping pace. Maybe he has his own personal time to do.
So everyone in the Eco Atlantic can sight this man Kibet now, and the cheerleaders are doing their thing already, cheering him on as he approaches. He can also have a view of the finish line at this point.
Yes, I could also say we also have the head of running and mass participation from the World Athletics watching him come to the finish line as well, in the person of Alexio Ponzi.
So in 2023, the photo finish machine at the finish point would not be needed at this moment. Not at all. Because Kibet is striding down with a great view of the finish line. He's coming. Kibet, Edwin Kibet Koech.
Coming.
He's coming. Headed towards the finish line and is the champion for 2023 Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. Edwin Kibet Koech. Well, we don't have the official time at the moment. We'll confirm that to you. But it's on all four at the moment. Having crossed the finish line, crawling, he won't mind. He's excited. He's happy. This will add to the race. Access Bank Lagos City Marathon 2023 winner, Edwin Kibet Koech.
This is what we talk about when he says mindset. You can imagine what it takes for you to run with the fact that your legs are aching and then you have to come and collapse at the finish line. It takes a lot of mind power. But congratulations to Kibet for winning the 8th edition gold label Access Bank Lagos City Marathon.
Lima also finishing in second place. That it is Alemayehu Mekonnen Lima, the Ethiopian. Last time out it was Ethiopia. This time out is the Kenyan getting it.
They keep sharing it. It's Ethiopia, Kenya,
Ethiopia,
Nigeria.
Where is that? What are you talking about? Okay. We're hoping, where is the Nigerian girl we're expecting to win this year? We'll sight her soon and of course confirm where she is at the moment. But this finish line have received 2 athletes already finishing in the champion Edwin Kibet Koech and of course Alemayehu Mekonnen Lima.
Maybe we'll finally find out what happened to Bamasai.
We'll find out. But this man can go and take a quick shower. And wait for the others. So also Lima can go and take a quick shower and wait for the others to be coming back.
What you do is that you do a warm down. You want to gradually bring down the temperature of the body.
Exactly.
Do a bit of stretching.
This is a Sang, of course. Sang is placed third, so it tells you that Adise Sang will overtake Bamasai the way he was moving. This is the result.
You were right. You were
Sang
right.
in front, might just finish third as he's in the arena already.
So we will have a Kenyan, Ethiopian, Kenyan. A nice marathon sandwich.
So we are expecting him to cross the finish line. There he is, just about 20 meters away. He's been cheered all the way to the finish line. And Sang will be finishing third. Bernard Sang. He was here in 2020, finished 9th, and it's a great improvement for him. He will be finishing third in 2023. 2 years does a lot, and 3 years does a lot. Bernard Sang is third place in 2023 Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. Here you have the tall figure of Bernard Sang.
Ralph, have you noticed the age of the first 3 winners?
Sang is actually 42.
Yes. So we have a 39-year-old winner, then
we had a 26-year-old at third place there.
We have a 42, so you 42. Can imagine the
wow.
older generation.
Wow.
We're not messing around with the younger ones.
You know, and she was totally right. The fact that marathon starts from 30, 39, 40 years.
Somehow this is the runner coming down. Probably Bama said he dropped off the race. Did he totally drop off the race?
I hope he didn't hit the wall like they say in marathon.
So you have the finishers coming in one after the order. One after the order, they go crossing the finish line here. This is
she can do better. She can actually win next time with proper training if they manage to pass her now. So for me, she has achieved what no other person, no other female Nigerian runner has, even at this point.
Yeah, because the most important thing is to be competitive. And if you can be competitive to the last kilometer or so, then that's really impressive. It will be nice. I tell you, if she can keep it together with them till the last stage here, the roar of the crowd will ginger her on. Somebody that needs to be shouting to her ears, $50,000, $50,000, $50,000. I mean, it motivates me.
Motivates everybody.
And then additions here and there also. A Nigerian winner and a winner of the race. And of course, there you have Yusuf Ali, infuriated by some people, you know, not maintaining their places. There is a Nigerian coming in.
I think like this is the first male Nigerian coming in. As we can see, it really takes a toll on you. The first Nigerian male.
2.5 hours gone, and first Nigerian man.
We'll get his name for you shortly. But we want to say congratulations. It is not an easy feat.
Yeah, he needs a lot of medical attention. The marathon can be grueling. It's really tells on the body. It's an incredible test of character, test of endurance.
With that kind of pace.
Yes,
it can really tell on your body.
Yeah. Well, the 10-kilometer run seems to have started. We can see people really having fun. This is what we talk about, having
fun, yes.
She seems to be the only one to run the 10 kilometers.
No, I think she didn't start. She probably started from home, not at the starting line. The 10-kilometer will be starting right about now, so there's no way you will come.
So she has a head start.
A head and a leg start. We have another runner coming in. We have several runners now from the 42 coming in also.
The Access Bank Lagos City Marathon is still ongoing. We're expecting the leading women to come in now. The men have claimed their medals, claimed their money, claimed their positions. So the women are still having the fight for, and it seems going to be a more competitive race towards the end for the women, judging from what we saw of them.
Yes, Ernie, let's talk about what happens when a bunch of athletes kind of like come into the finish line at the same time. Now, what's the strategy there for most athletes?
Well, it's that's falling into the hands of the sprint athletes, because the sprint athletes always like to have a burst of energy of 100, 200 meters, and those that don't have those bursts of speed, it might really tell on them. So that's, I think...
so basically what you're saying is that you have to be a marathoner and a sprinter at the same time.
Well, speed is everything in every sport, and you must have some element of speed. And some people have more of the speed, more of the element of speed, and so that will help them. It's a strategy that sprint runners always have. They like to keep up with the pace and then wait for the last 100 or 200 meters to differentiate themselves.
So as we can see, it's not just you running the marathon and then hoping you will cross the finish line, because if you come in a pack, then it will boil down to who is the fastest and the pack of that last 42 kilometers after you've run.
Yeah,
and
so most of the time, the athletes know themselves. You know who are fast runners and sprint runners, and you don't allow those ones to be close to you. When you get to about a kilometer, you try to differentiate yourself.
Like we say, it's strategy. You plan your race. So if you know there's a sprint runner, you don't let them be in front of you.
No, it's absolute strategy. Oh, and this seems
this
to
is
be
like the
this is-
youngest runner in the race.
Yeah, probably 2 years old or 1.5 years old. She seems to be having fun with the Nigerian flag.
Like we said, this is a fun race, and it can
Oh,
also be a family.
This is such a beautiful sight, such a beautiful sight.
Future marathoner in the
Yeah.
making.
She's really having fun.
All draped in the Nigerian flag.
Oh, now the ladies have now differentiated themselves.
Yes, and we
Mayo
have
second
Mayo
lead.
leading the pack.
It is the top 3 athletes are going according to the form book, and that's the. So Mayo and Guta are now taking up the.
Yes, Mayo was third last year at the marathon, and Guta was second at the marathon. So we basically have the people that won the last year still now vying for the 50,000 again this year.
Urisi is someone that has come in 2020. I think Urisa. So she is there in third position at the moment. I believe if Adetutu had kept with them, I think she has a sprints. So Guta, Mayo, and Urisa, those are athletes that know this course very well. They have been medalists in this course at numerous occasions. So these are very well experienced athletes, and they know this course very well. And probably they had known that Adetutu can't possibly can't in any way on earth keep up the speed at which she was going.
It's a shame that we might not have a Nigerian women's winner.
I think we will not have a Nigerian women's runner. It's more of a statistic that we won't have now. So as we can see, Ralph, your pessimism has taken place now.
Well, honestly, I would have loved to see that
You
happen.
would have preferred Nigeria, yes. we all
But the way
would.
it is, it's not going to happen.
The amount of runners that would have gone past her, that's what it's sad to me, because the whole bunch seems to have gone past her. The whole bunch of runners.
You talk about race planning, how to run your race and all that. She didn't do that. She enjoyed her time in front anyway.
But I believe she planned it better than she had planned her previous races before. But like we said, there's a long way to go. In terms of experience, the Kenyans and the Ethiopians, they've been doing this kind of thing. It's like almost a birthright for them. So they know how to communicate within
There she
themselves.
She's put
Plan their race.
she's put up a gallant effort. I must encourage her. She has put up a gallant effort. She's beaten one or two elite, but I hope she can get into that top 8. Then she can just beat that person in front of her. She should get into the top 8 so that she can win something substantial for her effort. She deserves something. She deserves something.
She does. A great race run by Adetutu here. And of course, she's still going. I hope she doesn't drop out the way she's going, like begging for water practically. Get me some water. Get me some water.
At the finish of the race, she should really have just
Oh,
Right.
boy.
There's a motivation. So, like I said, probably Bamasai, she's not going to stop and she's going to finish the race come what may. There's no need starting a race when you can't. If you can do everything in your
So
power to make sure you cross that finish
Yeah.
line.
This seems to be the leading 3. It's Guta, Urisa, and I think Mayo. We don't know how the medals is going to be distributed, but this seems to be the leading 3.
So, like what we were saying before, it's going to be a sprint finish now. So, whoever has the fastest last kilometers, last meters, is going to win this race.
I always love to see sprint finishes in races, and we might just have that here in the women's race at Access Bank Lagos City Marathon 2023. The 3 ladies in front. What will separate the 3 of them? One will get tired and say, okay, I'm done with this this love matter.
Makes you
you
wonder.
can see, those are the 3 medalists. In what order, we do not know yet.
Yes, it makes you wonder if they decided ahead of time, okay, who takes the 50, who takes the 40, and who takes the 30.
Okay. So you have Urisa, you have Guta,
And
2 in front now. Mayo slightly behind, and not even slightly. She's behind now.
Okay,
now
now the
they-
sprinters
they-
are leaving the
yeah.
slow ones.
So it's a race between Urisa and Guta. Urisa and Guta.
That's the second. So they've left Mayo. So Guta was second last marathon. So let's see if she wants to up that ante and become first this year.
And it's Guta that is winning the sprint race. Guta in front. Urisa behind a bit.
Yeah, she needs to break that jinx because in the last 2 marathons that she has attended, she's placed second in both of them. So now she wants the first position. And you can see that she really wants the first position.
She wants it so badly.
She's taking second too many times, so she's really going for it. My money's on her.
You're very late in putting.
You didn't put your money on her.
You're very late in betting.
Betting closed long ago.
Last minute betting. My money is on her because she's really going to watch it. If you're an athlete, especially if you've never won a gold medal and you keep winning the silver and the bronze, I bet you'll be very determined. You will not let anybody pass you to that gold medal, which is what you can see her face. Guta
in front. Guta to finish in first. Guta wins it. Guta wins it. For the women's race, Urisa is second. What a race run by these girls, these women. And here comes the third place, coming in quickly.
Mayo taking third again. She was third last year and she's third again this year. But Guta said, no, I will not take second again. I must take first. And she has now made it. So congratulations to our winners.
Great race by Guta.
So the fourth position has just gone through. And that's Jeprono. The fourth position has just gone through. I'm trying to keep an eye for our Nigerian and what position she will finish up through. But it seems that the first 4 are out. The fifth is out. So, yeah, the fifth has gone through. The fifth has gone through. Oh, where is she? The fifth position is out. And probably the sixth, the fifth and sixth are there. The seventh is coming in there, and eighth. So I don't think she's in the top 8.
We see there's still 2 more prizes to go. It's the top 10 that they take. So
I can see the 9th position coming in behind. Before I think she's number 10.
That's still good.
Oh, there you have her.
There you have her running up there. She's moving up very well.
There you have her.
The first Nigerian female.
That's the first Nigerian, day 2-2. Impressive run, amazing run. And there she goes, marvelous. She has done it, 2 hours 42, 2 hours 42.
And she gets the prize from the elite and from the Nigerian runner. That's the second time it's been done.
She is impressive, an impressive run from her. She faded at the last 2 kilometers, but not taking nothing away from her. She was within the mix. She was within the mix.
Like we said, we keep improving, and this we can see. Maybe it's the gold label that made her run this way. We've improved in leaps and bounds this year, especially in the women's area. So congratulations to the Nigerian runners also.
Great race that we've seen this year. Great race by Felicia Adetutu. Great race by the winner of the men's race, Kibet Edwin. What a race that we've seen this year. More and more are finishing. That's where it is in the spirit of Olympism. Finishing is most important. But then if you win the race, you get the prize money. So you must strive to win the race, but most importantly, you must strive to finish, no matter what it is, no matter the odds.
Finish. Like we see, it's not easy. The race is not easy. So a lot of them will be getting medical attention. A lot of massages because the muscles will be cramped, sometimes really stiff.
Yeah, they totally spent. Really, really, really tired there. It's amazing.
But well done.
I need to ask the 2 athletes with me here. This girl finishing the 10th place. What kind of encouragement and what kind of buildings and all that should Nigeria now?
I don't even think it's the position. It's the manner in which she took the race to the elite athlete. I mean, she took the race till the last 3 kilometers. So it's something that we can build on. I think this girl I don't have much of her records, but she should be encouraged. And like Traya said, we don't have to look at whether she's young or whether she's old. She's talented. She's a real talented athlete. And she must be encouraged and she must be sponsored for some other. Let her gather experience. Let her run 1 or 2 other marathons around the world this year. And let her have that confidence. When she comes next year, she knows that she's one of the elites and she can do it.
And I can bet you next year, when the Kenyans and the Ethiopia come, they will not take our Nigerian athletes for granted.
Yeah, surely they won't. They won't. That's a big lesson to them that a Nigerian, if not for her getting tired at that point, she would have really, really won this race.
Yeah, I'll even take it down.
Most of the time she took it
I'll take it down to inexperience rather than even fatigue. Inexperience. It's an amazing run, nonetheless. I can't fault her. I can't fault her at all.
Not at all, not at all. Great race by that girl, Felicia Adetutu, the Nigerian, who finished 10th in 2023 Access Bank Lagos City Marathon.
I recognize one lady, one of the veteran ladies. She should be in her late 50s. You see, this marathon is not just for the young people, not just for professionals. We also encourage veterans to come and run. It doesn't matter how old you are. We have those in their 50s, we have those in their 60s running. Like we said, keep fit, have fun, come and run. You run. This is, like we said, this is the only sport and event that the masses can come and compete with professional athletes, all in the same event. So congratulations to all the runners, both the elite runners and both the fun runners. Whatever you came to come and do, whether it's fun run, whether it's keep fit, or even walking, congratulations to everybody that crossed the finish line. You did it.
You did it. And that's the finish line, waiting for the next finisher, waiting for who's going to cross. Here comes 2 athletes crossing. Access Bank Lagos City Marathon 2023. We have the winner in male and female categories. We already had Edwin Kibet winning the men's race, and of course Guta Alemenes
Finally coming first,
winning the women's race. Fantastic race we've gone this year, 2023.
We now have the second Nigerian female coming in. And she's coming in. We also want to... Oh, she seems to be turned around a little bit. Oh, that's not good for the athlete. It tends to kind of mess with you. But congratulations to her. Deborah Pam coming in, the second Nigerian female to finish the race. We have the cheerleaders at the finish line cheering her up. As we know, they did a 42 kilometers. She was beaten by Adetutu, who is the first Nigerian female to cross the finish line. Pam is the second. And the female athletes, the female racers, they've done really well. She's coming into the last kilometers of the race.
Lagos is where we are, and still, if you're just joining us from any part of the continent, it's Access Bank Lagos City Marathon, and we'll witness our winners for 2023 with Guta Hefa winning the women's race. Valeria before her, we had the victory of Edwin Kibet Koech. In the men's race, he ran an unbelievable race, taking over from Whereof, putting Bamasai behind, and ran his race. It was him alone, and you'll be wondering, many of us were wondering where were the others, and he left them all behind and finished to win the 2023 Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. Here comes another finisher. She started very well. This is Pam, of course. Pam started the race very well. She led all the way up till after the third mainland bridge up to Ikoyi before, of course, the other Nigerian girl came forward. Felicia Detutu, of course, overtook her and continued all the way before the Ethiopians and the Kenyans came, and of course they took the race and won it. Guta winning it, Guta Heifer winning it, and of course Urisa finishing second in the women's race.
Yes, we want to say congratulations to the second Nigerian female runner, Pam. It is not an easy race. She tried, although Adetutu finally overtook her. But the Nigerian females have shown their mettle in this marathon. Like we were discussing, that the Kenyans and the Ethiopians, next time, they're not going to take them for granted. I believe that their strategy next time when they come is going to be a little bit different, because now they'll be thinking, do not let the Nigerians get in front of us. At this time, we might not be able to overtake them. So it's good. It's good for us to keep the Kenyans and the Ethiopians on their toes. Like Nigerians have been complaining, how can we be hosting a marathon when Nigerians don't win? But Nigerians, you can see now that we're very close. We're close.
Very, very close, very, very close. And there will be just wondering how the two Nigerian girls go past the lead, for so long a time up till they lost team.
Like I said, they were underestimated. The Kenyans and the Ethiopians thought, no, Nigerians, they're not going to be there. So they said, okay, let's just do our things and not really put our minds on the Nigerians. And since they probably, when they were having their meeting, they didn't include the Nigerians in their planning. So the Nigerians decided, okay, we are going to go ahead.
I want to see that happening next year, and I see them keeping it up to the finish line to win it for Nigeria. Nigeria deserves to win this race.
Yes, we really do. We are the one hosting, and the prize money is one of the best in all the marathons. If you don't know the prize, and they're planning on increasing it next year.
We'll keep consoling ourselves.
So the standard is going to go up. We know more elite runners will come. Of course, when you have a bigger prize money, more elite runners is going to come. So the competition is going to be more, both in the men and on the women's side. So the Nigerian athletes have to be prepared for that if you want to win that prize money. So I believe we're going to do better next year.
Most definitely. We'll see how it goes in 2024. 2023 has been really, really amazing. And this is the finish line, waiting for the next athlete to cross. Here comes one, crossing. Great finish.
I believe it's one of the Kenyans. So you see, we still have Nigerians.
Jeb Korir. Jeb Korir finishing there. Jeb Korir, Chemweno, Lilian. Jeb Korir finishing 8th as a Kenyan. And imagine Nigerians beating two Nigerians, actually beating Kenya.
Overtaking one Kenyan, one Ethiopian at a time until finally we have them all behind us. That's the plan.
Fantastic race that these Nigerians, those Nigerians around. That's a Detutu and of course a Pam. Fantastic race. I will keep mentioning their names. They need to be encouraged, and of course a whole lot should go in like
development. A whole lot really needs to go into the development of the marathon runners. And we are known as a sprint and jump country.
Yeah.
But if you look at the regions of Nigeria, usually in the south, you have the sprinters and the runners and the jumpers. Then in the middle, where you have the plateaus, the jaws, you have the long distance runners. So we need to develop our marathon runners the same way we develop our sprinters and our jumpers. It's still an ongoing process, both for the sprinting and for the marathon. So, like we said, we need to do more development.
More development, especially developing these two girls that have done very well, and of course hosting Nigeria as a flag where the other athletes have finished in the top 10 who have a Nigerian flag hoisted amongst them. That's fantastic, Tony.
Yes, there's no greater feeling than having, let's say, international or an Olympic event where you have the national anthem being sung at the podium. That is what our aim is, to have our national anthem being sung on the podium.
Some fun. Some of them that have been running the race for fun, they will be happy, very happy finishing the race. And of course, everyone will get a
Okay.
certificate.
Yes, everyone
running.
will get a certificate. Those, if you finish, you get a medal. Because
Yeah.
for some people, that's the aim, to finish and get. I know when I run, one of the things I like is if I get the shirt and if I get the medal, because then I display it and I say, okay, this is 2000 and this is a half marathon, this is a 10 kilometer, and I'm like really proud because I achieved that, because it's not easy. Like we said, it's a mind thing. It's a mind over body, because you're putting your body through a lot. So once again, congratulations to all our finishers, not just our elite runners, but all our finishers.
Once again in 2023, the first gold label race in Nigeria has winners, and of course in men and women, and the athletes have really bent the course, bent the routes and everything in 2023. And of course it rained, it became sunny, slight rains here and there,
Showers of
and
blessing.
showers of blessing. Okay, and of course it became sunny, and it ended in a sunny atmosphere, and it's really pleasant to behold how this year's 2023 Access Bank Lagos City Marathon, the gold label race, has panned out beautifully. We're not able to drop it to be below 210, but all the same, it's been a wonderful race here. And then right now we'd like to go to the studio to have Moses Praise, and of course alongside the Olympic gold medalist Nefio Kudobong, we'll have a review of the race, and then we'll come back to round up.
Well, Ralph, I have to hand it over to you. I mean, the trio of both of you, Otoye and Eni, definitely give us some good ride, taking us through how things actually turned out. Well, congratulations has to go to the man who finally came through for the Kenyans. The Kenyans continue their domination of the men segment of the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. Edwin Kibet coming through here. The course record remains very safe, and Bamasai will be very delighted that has stayed that way. I think the beauty of this particular marathon has to be the fact that it's also qualifying for Paris 2024, and I think beyond ranking points, it being a qualifying for the Olympic marathon event, it's another laudable thing to look at as regards Access Bank Lagos City Marathon.
Oh, yes, Moses, but you said that Bamasai will be happy his record stays. I don't think he'll be happy how he ended the second half of the race, because the first half of the race we thought that he was going for the record, and he was a little bit on course within 1 or 2 seconds, but he just faded off, and it was really surprising. I really don't understand for an athlete that knows the course so well how he could have just faded off so quickly.
I was very surprised, and I agree with you absolutely. The fact that he actually knows this course well enough. He is the record course holder. He has also, as a matter of fact, came second in this one. So this is a course he's gone through a lot of time. But very importantly, it also states or validates how very, impossible this course is. It looks easy to we the neutrals who watch it and say, come on, you can do it. But the truth is, it is actually very tough.
Yeah, it's a very tasking race. It's a very tough race, and you just have to give kudos to whoever wins it, and they keep on coming back and try. They said the issue, the 10, 15 kilometers of the third mainland bridge is really tasking, and you have to be mentally strong to take that. It's an amazing race anyway. It's exciting in all its ramifications.
Exciting things that we have witnessed here, and of course, narrowly missing out on the opportunity to have a Nigerian woman this time around actually winning it, seeing how Deborah Palm was way ahead in front, and then Adetutu came up at some point in time. But there's a reason why these athletes are from all over the world are called elite athletes, and they showed their true colors coming through here.
Yeah, but the most impressive thing you'll give to Deborah, and most especially Adetutu, is that they took them to the last 2 kilometers. You see, that's an improvement. So you keep on pushing it towards the end, keep on pushing, and maybe just one, and now they can begin to dream that they can actually win the marathon.
I hear you. All right, a big, massive shout out to you, Eniofiok, and of course a great commentary position coming out of those guys. Like I said, the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon 8th edition keeps growing in leaps and bounds. Things are looking really, really good. Most importantly, importantly for the Nigerian athlete, Deborah Palm, remember, in the 2020 edition, finished 6th, making it into the top 10. No Nigerian male athlete has ever made it into the top 10 of the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon, because it is not an easy task at all, I will say that to you. But most importantly, like I said, that the marathon is going in leaps and bounds. Also see how things are actually shaping up with regards to them getting ranking points. Beyond the ranking points, they are also getting qualifying to the Olympics Paris 2024. And it's great to see that the marathon event would actually have runners from this particular aspect are coming through there also. All right, I'm joined by the Deputy Governor of Lagos State, and it's great to see him coming through. Your Excellency, great outing we have seen. Lagos State government has been a major backer of this marathon that has now become a global feature on the World Athletics calendar. How excited is Lagos State? Because this started as just one of those races, but now it is a gold label races, the first of its kind in Nigeria.
Well, I think we are very excited, and it shows the capacity and the ability of Lagos and the opportunity that exists in our state. Like you said, this is the 8th edition. We must thank the sponsors and everybody involved, so that at least we can sustain it. Part of the problem in our society is sustenance. So we've shown that we can sustain it, get it better, improve it. So I'm excited, happy for Lagosians, happy for all the athletes, the runners. People are coming from all over the world. My understanding is we have 50,000 registrants for this event. And if you notice, the Dubai Marathon is next week. And a lot of these athletes are in Lagos. So it shows something positive about our state.
Let me also try, and this is not trying to patronize you in any way. I just stated that before you came on set. And I think these are the things that gets us as Lagosians excited, as Nigerians and Africans, most importantly, that this particular race has become not just for ranking points, but now a qualifiers for the Paris 2024 Olympics. And that should give you guys who run Lagos State to say, you know what? Beyond being the most populous city in Nigeria and the most populous city in Africa, we are also we're creating a foundation where we can become the hub for quality sporting adventures also.
So, the lesson for me is this: we have a lot of negatives in our society, no question, like every society does. But the question is, are we amplifying the positives? Are we letting people see the positives? Forget about even the athletes. How are the young people coping into running for their health's sake? How are we doing it? So the idea for us in Lagos State government is, how do we percolate this to the society? Like everybody says, prevention is better than cure. If you run every day or if you walk every day, you know that your health status improves. So apart from even the marathon, apart from bringing people from Kenya, Ethiopia, everywhere to Lagos, we in Lagos and Nigeria must understand that we have a lot of positives and we must keep into it. And then, we sort of amplify our negatives. I understand there are challenges, we must talk about them. But are we amplifying our positives? And I think that's what we should all take from this. A lot of good things are happening. People are coming to our country. They are having fun in our country. So we cannot be here and then look only at the negatives. Let's look at the positives. This is one of the
Let's
positives.
amplify the positives a bit today, sir. And just tell us exactly what some of this. I've stated mine, and I've seen a few things here. And the fact that we are not just drawing elite athletes from all over the world, we're getting Nigerians to come through here and see the beauty that the Lagos State has to offer. What other positives are there?
Well, so generally speaking, look around the world. Some few weeks ago, the state of California suffered major flood. 16 people died. Now, Lagos is 2 meters below sea level. This year, we didn't have any flood. Not because it's because of preparation. Yeah. And I'm not saying that there cannot be flood, but there will be flash flood. But it's preparation. So a lot of people don't see that because it goes behind the scene. So Lagos is safer, it's more secured, it's more prosperous. That's why people are coming. If it's not prosperous, people will not come. It's natural. So people talk about, there is traffic. Of course, there will be traffic. We occupy 0.4% of the landmass of our country, but we housed about 12% of the population. So statistically, it shows that the density here is more than any other place. And then we are the economic hub of the country. So, and that's why a lot of good things, that's why our rail is now working. People are being trained on how to enter, trained how to use the Cowry card. We have a lot of ferries. And the good thing is we are also using technology in Lagos. So for example, our buses, our ferries, our train, we use the Cowry card. It's just a Cowry card, like you buy it anywhere. So a lot of positive things are happening in our state. And I implore the youth to look at it, understand it, and take care of themselves using the positive that is going on in our state.
As I let you go, Your Excellency, we're looking forward to the 2024 edition of it. It will now become an event that will actually be registered. You have to basically pay to be part of it. Well, Lagosians are actually happy with your government, and that's why we want you back next year. So we'll definitely have you guys next. So what should we be looking forward to as regards the 2024 edition of the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon?
Well, it will be bigger, better, and the ultimate aim for us is for this to now be platinum. Okay? So, and what that means is now comparable to anyone, anywhere on the planet. And that's the bottom line. So the vision of Lagos is to be the hub and be a destination around, for us in Africa. And a lot of good things are coming in terms of transportation, in terms of water services, in terms of everything. So it's a journey. Yeah. And then we started well and we keep moving. And that's why it's important for our youths and even all the adults to understand that we must key in and look at the positives so that we don't get left behind. Because the reality is, if you go to a restaurant in Lagos, don't think the next black man sitting to you is in Nigeria. People are coming from Kenya and taking opportunities. So we should stop complaining and take the positive and move with it. All right. Lagos is rising, and everybody must rise with it. We want the citizens of Nigeria to rise with us so that we can take the benefits of what is coming up.
Excellent thoughts. I want to thank you so very much, Your Excellency.
Thank you.
It's been great fun. And of course, right here with me, the Deputy Governor of Lagos State, His Excellency Obafemi Hamzat, sharing his thoughts. And most importantly, the key message is the positivity that we all need to look forward in building and, of course, continuing to build that which we have. We're still looking forward to the 8th installment of the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. Things are looking great at the moment. Yes, for Nigerian outlets, it's a great exposure for them, but then it really didn't turn out as expected. But still, I think the beauty of it is you competing with the best in the world. And yes, Access Bank Lagos City Marathon organizers know for a fact that they are setting the pace as the #1 gold label race in the country. And they are planning towards it becoming a platinum race. With what we have witnessed, the course time is a bit, you want to say it was a bit slow. Could be better anyway, but then it didn't really turn out as expected for the organizers. And I'm sure they'll be looking forward to wanting to make it even better going forward. So an effort comes through. And yes, I know, you being an athlete and the likes of Tonya, everybody talking, we wanted this to be, and the opportunity, the time when the course race will finally be broken. What would you say would have happened to many of these athletes who have been here quite a number of times, but then there was a bit of a struggle?
Well, it's difficult to say because what I noticed in the course of race is that the pacemakers didn't keep up the pace. So you have pacemakers to help the athletes not use their mental energy to plan the races. By halfway points, the pacemaker had fallen back. On a good day, pacemaker should have taken it to 30 kilometers, but I think by 15, 20 kilometers, the pacemakers had already. So I probably think they'll invest more in getting better pacemakers and probably get one or two very, very top, probably pay some money to somebody of higher quality to come and make them run.
I hear you on this one. All right, let's look at the top three, basically, for the elite athletes, both men, women, and of course, we'll see how Nigerians actually are fared. But no doubt, like I said, Iniobong even alluded to that at the very start, that the Kenyans are dominating in the men the department of the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. Edwin Kibet of Kenya, 2 hours, 14 minutes and 6 seconds. And we saw Dekeba Tafa of Ethiopia coming through there very, very slightly. And Bernard San, who at some point was actually showing a very, very strong pace, but then finished a third there with 2 hours, 17 minutes and 14 seconds. For the women, look, man, you had to give it to them. At the start, we didn't even know where they were. It was Deborah Pag who basically launched forward. But then, like, any of us can agree, that's why they're called elite athletes, you know. They know how to come through there. But it was Guta Alemene Shaherfa. Not her first time here, but this definitely comes through as her first win with 2 hours 40 minutes and 42 seconds. Urisa Kabene Chala. And I think what was great to see was the final finish where they paced towards the finish line. And, of course, just 2 seconds behind the winner there. Again, Ethiopia dominating on the women's side, and now it's 6 wins for the Ethiopian as opposed to 2 for Kenyan. And Naomi Mayoyo, the Kenyan, coming through there in 3rd place. Now for the Nigerian men, it's Abdul Hakim Yunus Ressa with a very strong time. Then Adekwega Latif in 3rd position, and Adedeji Bashit. Of course, Abdul Hakim comes through there with 3 million naira to his name. If he had made it into the top 10, would have actually had a few dollars into his pockets. And any surprises there for you, any effort as things turned out?
No surprises generally. But like we spoke earlier on, is that every time the Kenyans win the men, the Ethiopians take the women. And you said
Is it like an agreement they had? Yeah, you take the men, let's take the women.
It's more or less like a rivalry, because I don't think the Kenyan women won that. And but it is what it is. We have 6 times the Ethiopians have won the women, 6 times the Kenyans have won the men, and the other 2 on each gender has gone from the other country. So there's a rivalry building up, and unfortunately, or quite excitedly, we thought that the Nigerian would get into the mix. She looks so promising, and she's someone that we should really encourage, because she really did very, very well. And we had alluded to the fact that these people keep on coming, they keep on running. All the winners and the women, the top 3 have been here before. They have won different medals, so they have the experience, and we must do. Otoye spoke about the average age of a marathoner, about 40 years old, 42 years old. So it gives a little hope that some of these people can keep running, and also may give a little hope that someone like you too can still go back into running marathon.
When you say you're talking the athletes, right? Because somebody needs to be here to talk about how they're doing out there. But you know what the organizers are saying? Come next year, there's a whole innovations coming through, and the fact that they're stating it and planning towards that, I think it's absolutely very laudable. Number one is actually making the 10-kilometer race a gold label, bringing gold label athletes to bring it and make it more competitive, and also registration now with a fee. And then that means the race has actually gotten to a different level where people will be like, you know what, I don't mind paying to be part of this.
Yeah, I think they tried to introduce it a while ago. Nigeria basically was the only gold label race that's free of charge. And for more control, to make sure that we keep out the quality, we probably have to streamline down a little bit to make sure that people pay to come in. The 10 kilometers, like you say, elite will start coming. I think they'll start from the bronze medal. Now it's a free-for-all race. But when we have a race that has double labels, I think that's better for Access Bank City, the Lagos City Marathon as a whole.
All right, and I think that goes a long way. And of course, it being a registered race also, and people paying for it, I think it says a whole lot, because now that it's a qualifying race for the Olympics, I mean, this now becomes a race where the top athletes want to be a part of it, as opposed to, paying appearance fees to have them here.
Yeah, exactly. You will still pay appearance fee at the end of the day, but it should be a race that people want to come. So when it's a gold label, it's an Olympic qualifier, World Championship qualifier. You also have ranking points. I mean, people should be rushing in to come here. So it's getting to a stage now that we will see a lot of top athletes coming, a lot of top athletes picking up the calls and calling, look, when is the race? I'm coming in for the race. I'm logging in for the race. Because let's face it, it's among the top 20 races in the world with the highest prize money.
Yeah.
You don't get it now. We all know how the world economy is. So getting $50,000 and getting a total of almost $500,000 in total prize money, it's really a very lucrative race.
Lucrative is what it is. Lucrative, like you stated, is what it is. But most importantly, it is actually a really tough race, and a full marathon, one of the key features to look out for on the African continent. And I think it's absolutely very amazing. But let's look at the prize money one more time. We do notice that the return to the original prize money pre-COVID, because when there was COVID, it was reduced to $30,000. But then again, it just states the level of commitment the organizers and the sponsors have towards the race, that they decided, rather than cancel it, we're going to have a race, a reduced prize money. But now the prize money has gone back to the original state that it is. And I have to agree with you, man. The top 10 right here, any Nigeria comes into this, they earn both from the Naira and on the dollar aspect. And the fact that it comes through here, I see this even increasing over time.
Yes, it's double compensation for any Nigerian, and that's the kind of encouragement we want to give to them. Looking at this prize money might not be very good look for Adetutu, because she might be looking at it, wow, what if I had, and well, if from Boss we're kind enough, we'll have a great party. But I think it will be encouraging to her. If she wins I think the prize money for the Nigerian is 3 million.
Yes.
And if she has about $2,000 or $4,000 in addition to that, she's come here with promises, and she's left a millionaire.
I was actually calculating for Deborah Palmer and Adetutu, $50,000. I was calculating, I'm sorry. Maybe some of us actually jinxed it for them, but the truth is, I thought that was actually very beautiful to see them just getting through. But I'm sure it's a whole lot of experience, exposure coming into the 2024 edition. But looking at the women for the Nigerian prize money that comes through, it's also great to see that this prize money is at par. Both men and women are earning the same thing.
Yeah, equal prize money, and this is the kind of events I said that they really deserve equal prize money, because the marathon, they're running the same distance. I may have questions of equal prize money in events like tennis, because I feel that men may play 5 sets, the women play 3 sets. But in the marathon, in football, we feel that equal prize money is a gender neutral thing, and I think that's impressive from the organizers.
I hear you on that one clearly. All right, let me just pick your brains, and I'm sure the organizers will, when they finally get their mind away from how all of this has to be right, they need to sit down and say, okay, what are we looking forward to for 2024? If I were to pick your brain, what would you think should be something to look forward to for 2024?
Well, there are 2 main things I will look forward in 2020, and that has to do with the performance. Is that the first things first is that I will make sure that we have more elite athletes. Maybe get 2 top, even platinum-based athletes to come and run here, give them the money to come so that we can push the timing. And the second thing is to prepare 2 or 3 Nigerian athletes we're encouraged here. Probably send them to, sponsor them to other marathons, maybe 1 or 2 marathons later this year, so that they can have that experience and have that exposure, so that when they come in here, they have the confidence that they are better or they're equal to the Kenyans, and they can do that. So those are the 2 things I'll say, so that by next year we come and we have 1, a new course record, and 2, we have a Nigerian medalist. Then we'll say that it's been worthwhile, the investments.
Seeing how fast they basically attained the gold label in 8 seasons, any possibility here that might push the letter here and say, you know what, in the next 10 edition, before we get to the 10th or by the 10th edition, we're platinum?
Well, I wouldn't want to say by the 10th edition, but I say probably in the next 3-4 editions, we should be aiming at that. Say now we are able to meet platinum standard in terms of finance, but we don't need some organizational things. So we saw 1 or 2 little things that we could question, the tax coming out, but in all races, there are some things that happen. So we just have to cross our T's and dot our I's. And I'm very sure, because in time management, we were almost perfect in that. The race took off when it was supposed to take off. In organizational structure, in crowd control, a lot of things that are off the cameras, that are things that lead to being labeled. But I think we may have 1 or 2 things to put in place, but it's not beyond us.
Always quality thoughts are coming from Eniafiong Udobong, and I think it's been a great run with her for the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon edition 2023, and the 8th installment as it is. We're looking forward to the 9th one, and it becoming an even better one, and of course, gunning after David Bamasai's course record that he set in 2020, and hopefully a good run out for Nigerian athletes also. I want to say a massive shout out to you for hanging out with us since 6:45 a.m. And as we look forward to a correct continued expression of great athleticism here, I want to say have yourself an amazing weekend, and of course a quality 2023 from every one of us here. Let's get us so we don't work. I still need to speak to him. Can you hear me? We need a camera to take the